Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Q Lads channel. We are here for the first final of the BBL. It is the elimination final, which means whoever loses this game, they are going to be gone from the competition. Whoever wins it goes on to face the Sydney Thunder 2 days' time on Sunday as well. But I hope you are all doing well. We have got in the chat already, we've got BAL, we have got Aiden, we've got Michelle, the two Aussies, Reed is here, and also we have got the LJ, as well as a donation already coming through for Xavier. Thank you very much, mate. Usually appreciated. Donation. The Japanese top league, I was hoping to get one game in tomorrow, but depending on how late we stay up tonight, may depend on whether or not we can do a game at 6:30. But if we can't do the game tomorrow or the next day, I'm hoping next week or the week after will be our first Japanese top league live stream. That will be coming up very soon in Adelaide. 189 is the prediction. I'll say 158 as well. So the Adelaide Strikers, they are going to be batting first, and they have got a couple big returns into their starting lineup. We have got the Canadian 177. I will put that one down. There we go. And g'day says that the two Aussies there in the chat. So I hope you guys are all doing well. This is a big matchup because whoever loses it, like I mentioned, that is the end of their BBL. And I'm hoping we do get to see a very high scoring game. Maybe not as high scoring as the Melbourne Stars Hobart Hurricanes game. That was a bit insane how high scoring that one was. And also, Patty, we all saw your original score as well. And Maxwell I'm playing today. And also, we've got the 177 from the Aussie Mozzie. And the 147, please, for that one as well. And also, we've got the I'll be on before it starts as well, says the Aussie, so no worries. And also, hey, says Ellie Hills, welcome in. And Monty says, I tell you what, the chat is going quick today. Everyone excited for this game. And also, we have got there what time as well, says Brandon. So the game is going to be starting at 9:15 as I'm looking forward to the sevens. I'll keep you updated in the sevens as well, says Aiden. So, yeah, we won't be able to cover the sevens that are happening during this game, but the one straight after, we are going to be all over. So pretty much our first sevens live stream, I want to say, was going to be England versus Fiji, but of course Fiji having to pull out of the sevens, which is something that is always unfortunate. I am 178, please as well. Says David the mod there, and also we're going to hey, I hope you're well from Patty, and also I think I'll go 162 because it's got big boundaries. Of course, we're at the MCG for this matchup and hoping for Hobart winning ball and tearing through the Strikers for the Hurricanes. That's the thing. They have got Tom Rogers. They've got Scott Boland. They've also got Riley Meredith, a good bowling attack. Will Parker with a little bit of leg spin. Still no Nathan Ellis here for the Hobart Hurricanes, but they have also got Darcy Short as a spin option. Tim David still there. Thompson. They've got about 8 different bowlers that they can go to in this lineup if they really do need to. MCG. As El says, LJ, that is exactly where we are going to be located for this game. A big old stadium. I might be on in the innings break as well. I'm going to be live streaming at 9:10. Says it, Brandon. But yeah, Scott Boland, he has returned for the Hobart Hurricanes. I've realized that you can just see the edge of my microphone. We'll push it that way. There we go. It's disappeared as well. But for the Adelaide Strikers, we'll quickly mention the lineup that they have decided to go with for this one. They've got a couple of big returns, including Alex Geary at the top of the order. He is going to be keeping for them as well. And then it is also going to be Matt Short, who is going to be opening alongside him. That will be a dangerous opening partnership for those 280 Q lads. As I says, right, we will go like that. Russian women are first up against the Brazilians. That will be a good game because Brazil in the last one, I believe, were actually pretty decent for their skill level. But Ian Cobain, he had a phenomenal game in the last match, and also Head and Gary are back on strikers. And they're from the two Aussies. Travis Head, he is going to be out there for them. So they have got Head and also Gary back, like we have mentioned. And also we have got their slow down the chat for these as well. Says that Betty Wick and also Hamish Bro, your prediction says for so. I haven't actually thought about it just as of yet. I feel like I'll probably go around that 160 mark, somewhere around there, seeing as it is a final. And also, do you enjoy a live stream? Got 6 like as well. And there says Brandon. I mean, if we don't enjoy a live stream, we have got a lot of them today to be going through. That is for sure. We have got the sevens coming up. We're also maybe even going to be doing a little bit of the Champions Cup in the morning at 9 a.m. New Zealand time. It's going to be a late night. That has for sure. And Scorchers versus the Hurricanes BBL final, says Frank. So that is his prediction. My prediction is 199, says Vishal there as well. But looking through the rest of the lineup, Jono Wells, Matty Renshaw, Thomas Kelly, Henry Thornton. He has been pretty impressive for them. Peter Siddle, Harry Conway, and Fawad Ahmed. So no sign of Rashid Khan. The reason for that, he has gone back to Afghanistan, and he is actually playing in that game, I believe. It's happening at the moment between Afghanistan and also the Netherlands, which is an interesting one. I think Adelaide versus Perth might be BBL final as well. And there says LJ. And also my live stream yesterday, as I was explaining, yeah, it was very good. And in that regard, Jake Weatherald and also Daniel Worrell will be the two men who are available as the X Factor players. Looking through at the Hobart Hurricanes lineup now, it's our Caleb Jewell, Ben McDermott, Matthew Wade. So those three at the top of the order are going to be important. Darcy Short hasn't been able to tick over a huge strike rate throughout the BBL so far, but this is a good opportunity for him to see whether or not he can ramp it up in the important moments. Peter Hanscom, Tim David, that man just hit sixes for fun. Doesn't seem to have any trouble at all trying to do so. Jordan Thompson, Tom Rogers, Will Barker, Scott Boland, the man who has been on form into the Ashes. Everyone has got that man's name on their lips, and it will be interesting to see whether or not he will be able to get himself a few wickets and kind of adapt straight back into the T20 format of this BBL. And then Riley Meredith, heaps of pace, 150 Ks, going to be tough to face, but also when the boundaries at the MCG are so long, maybe you end up going for a little bit of a scoop shot. And also we've got that woo-woo. And there, as I said, Joseph, and 2 days ago, 5 records was broken that day. Yeah, huge total from Maxwell, huge total from the Melbourne Stars. And just kept on going and going and going. And let's go. And there says Joseph. And also we got 5 people like you, Robert and Ellie as well. Sees up Brandon there. And then Mitchell Owen, Mac Wright. They are the 2 X-Factor players that they will be able to use for this match as well. But anyone who hasn't already, be sure to get in your predictions as well. Xavier has just donated without having a message. Do you want a message, Xavier, for that one that we could put up? And at the moment, they are just having a bit of a chat to Rashid Khan. He's not going to be here for the Adelaide Strikers, but he has helped in terms of being able to get them through to the point where they are here. And then they're on a little bit of a tear at the moment. Can't wait for the game. So it says LJ, sorry. So pretty much it's the team in the Adelaide Strikers who have started getting a bit of a win streak. I think they're up to about 4 in a row. And now the next one that we are going to see is whoever wins this game up against the Sydney Thunder. I didn't know what to say. Up Go Rebels as well. This is Xavier. We will put up the Go Rebels ones. And also we have got, it must be annoying knowing that the score, meant nothing ultimately. So it says BAL. Deep down, yes, but then at the end of the day, like, you still got your name in the record books, and they have made a bit of an impact right at the end. I wish he were in the finals so I could listen to Marnus Lowershane's commentary during the match, as I says Frank there. Yeah, I feel like he is a very lively character to have. Like, we've already got a couple Aussie internationals back in this game, the likes of Scott Boland, also Travis Head, Alex Carey for the side, so we will have to wait and see how it goes for both of these sides, how quickly they can adapt back to T20 cricket after playing so long in the test format. You would think that maybe you would be a little bit slower getting off the mark. Alex Carey is going to have to adapt straight away, though, because he is opening the batting for them. And also, will you go to the finals as well? Says Joseph, I won't be going to the finals, but we will be live streaming all other finals on this channel. So be sure to stick around. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new as well. Yeah, let's get that hype, Eddie Wagon Alley. And also, Robert says David the Mod. And hope you guys are all doing well. We have currently got the BBL. This is going to be the final eliminator final, I should say. They've got about 5 different types, but like I mentioned, whoever wins this game moves on to face the Thunder. Whoever loses this game, they are gone out of BBL 11. We have got there, hey David, as well says Robert. Currently, they have got Michael Hussey on the touchline. He knows a thing or two about scoring a lot of runs. He's probably been in quite a few finals as well for that man, so it is important that he does. I guess, who are you going to have? You're going to have Alex Carey as a left-hander. He's going to be so important for them throughout this matchup for the Adelaide Strikers, not just with the bat in hand, but also with the gloves. As I have been vaccinated, as well as BAL. I have indeed. And I was 160 as more cakes one. And also we have got there, please. People are pissed Steve Smith got rejected to play for the Sixers. As I says, Captain James, geez, that's a big move. I know that they've got Nathan Lyon, who has decided to join up with them as Australia still win the 7th game, which they are indeed. They are going to be taking part. I believe the first game that we are possibly covering of Australia is up against Ireland. Oh, sorry, it's actually up against Japan at 5:12 a.m. is the first one that we will be doing. 169, says Brandon there. So I am going to say, because it's a final, because there's going to be plenty of pressure on, I'm going to say 158. I'm going to go a little bit lower, and I feel like there's a good chance that maybe we do get to see it relatively slowly build into this final. And I mean, in final, like we've mentioned so many times, just having some form of runs on the board can be enough pressure to be able to break the opposition. As Nathan Lyon played for the Sixers, he was indeed. He played for them in the last matchup, and I believe he will be playing tomorrow as well. Bet Steve, okay, baby, I was there on 159. Says, hi guys, for his prediction is Tonga at the 7s. They are not Samoa was going to be, but they pulled out relatively late, unfortunately. So it does mean that we aren't going to have Samoa, we're not going to have New Zealand, and we're not going to have Fiji for that one, which is a little bit of a shame that we won't get to see any of those matchups that were going to be taking place. We've got England, Wales, and Scotland, though. They have broken back off from the Great Britain side of it, which does mean we've got a few more few more games that will be taking place. Although anyone who is going to be playing Fiji don't have a replacement, and it is just 3 points straight for them as well. With the Strikers, they won the bat flip. They decided it would be a good idea to go for the batting first. And like I mentioned, it's runs on the board. That was 158 from the boss. As us is Devin the Mod decided to go exactly for that. And I will have to start adding up all of the different tally points, because the Friday we are going to be telling everyone who is sitting top of the table for our point system. As also be sure to stick around for that one. We have got there. If Smith wasn't signed, which I think is the case, then we can't be disappointed with the rejection that all the Aussie sides or other Aussie players are signed to the squad. So it makes sense, as well, says Guybroom. Yeah. I think it's more of the case of, that's the thing. It's just about adapting quickly as well. And I don't know whether or not Steve Smith will be able to quickly go back into the T20 format. I feel like he's very similar to Marnus Labuschagne, and they take a little bit more time. You know, you got to spend a lot of hours in the nets to be able to kind of re-find that T20 format. It's a whole different game. And also, I think they go larger, 179, 199, my prediction by season of a show. And also having a show be back. We will see you later on, more cake. And I would have batted second. Sal says at BAL, and also I think Lions back for the Sixers. So is O'Keefe as well. He is indeed. Luckily, that injury of Ben O'Keefe seems to not be too serious at the moment. Oh, okay, Ben McDermott, he did get the Fox Cricket BBL MVP as well. He's been going very well, 2 back-to-back centuries for himself. I mean, you can't get much better than that. As once is more than enough as well, says BAL. And also we have got there, I think it was just the Sixers fan that were angry, to be honest. And there, what about the Stars total of 174 against the Canes as well? Yeah, 173 was absolutely phenomenal to get for themselves. And Maxwell just went berserk, 150 he was able to get for himself. And yeah, it's the first ever 150 as well. Have a day off over as well. I bet you were editing as well. And there says David the Mod. So today I was sleeping, but last night right up until about 9 a.m. I was preparing for the weekend thumbnails, just everything, lineups. Just a bit of everything indeed. So, yeah, we've had a little bit of time to edit. And anytime I have a spare little moment over this weekend, even if it's at like 5 a.m., that's when I'm going to be doing my editing of a video that me, George, Daniel, and Isaac all filmed the other day. So, to be fair, it was the bench warmers, the Hobart bowlers as well, says Guy. And also Maxi turned up for 4 games, gets second in MVP as well, says Guy Broom, and also bye. And there says LJ. So, we will see you later on as well. I'm going to go because watching the game on TV as well. So, hopefully the team that you do want to win is able to get the win here. The Hobart Hurricanes, they come in as slightly the favourites for this one. And also Irish with the thumbs up as well. Says tracking down under. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. Scotty Boland. That man is a fan favourite in Australia. No matter where he goes, he just gets a cheer. And that's the thing. Like, whether he's at his home ground, whether he's at some random ground, whether he's at the grocery store, people are giving him a big old clap as well, no matter where he is. Scotty Boland. And also we have got there, is it the Chicken Nugget Challenge video that you filmed? No, it was actually a gaming one. We haven't quite got our nuggets just yet, but it will be coming up relatively soon once we do get a rainy day so that George is available, and also maybe Daniel has an awesome work ethic. Hamish as well, says David the Mod. Yeah. I mean, I always try my best to kind of get to the stage of getting free time, but then it just never quite happens because there's always something else. Like I've got a hard drive that's got about 4 terabytes of footage on it that we could be editing. So I feel like anytime I get a little bit of spare time, I'm like, right, what's the next project that we got on the cards? And then I do try and get that one ready as well. And mad about Smith being a Sixers supporter as well. I think whoever wins tonight or tomorrow night will win the whole tournament as well. So that will either be the Perth Scorchers or the Sydney Sixers. And we are going to be covering that game on the channel as well. And also chicken nuggets and Big Mac sauce is elite as well. Says Copter. I haven't actually tried the combo. I do enjoy a sweet and sour sauce. MVP is still American. It should be man of the tournament. I believe that would be or player of the tournament. And also streaming is your free time as well, says Xavier. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much any time I do a live stream, this is about as, I guess you could say, casual as I do get to have throughout the day. Like anytime I'm editing or doing thumbnails or anything, I'm just pretty much sitting here going like that. Pretty much. But then when I'm talking to you guys, also we have got the 4 terabyte. That's the size of my PS4 drive as well. And this says BAL. Yeah, it's just, I've got about 3 at the moment. They're all in my drawer / this little thing. So, you know, I got one of these ones. This one's got a whole heap of footage on it. There's 4 terabytes. Got to get through that. There's a 2 terabyte one down there and also a 1 terabyte one in the back as well. And then I've also got my Xbox one. That is a different terabytage As is terabytage a word? It sounds like it should be. If it's not in the dictionary, I want to put it in it as well. I just write it in by myself. Terabytage meaning how many terabytes something has. Easy. And also, did you watch the women's T20 game, Australia and England? I did not, but I did see that Australia won, I believe, for that matchup. But anyone who hasn't already, be sure to let your opinions be known in terms of your predictions. That was a weird way of wording that, but be sure to say exactly how much it was. I remember when 1 gigabyte was a lot. I remember when a little 8 gigabyte hard drive was huge. You know, you get thousands of photos on that, and now it's like if you try and record for more than 5 minutes, you need more than an 8 terabyte hard drive. Or sorry, not 8 terabyte. That's a very big one. But eventually, I think my goal would be to get like a 10 terabyte, just massive box thing that holds everything. Are you sitting near your cat tonight as well, says Frank? I am not. He is asleep somewhere else, I believe, at the moment. The ropes are in too far for the woman. I think the ball far enough to not need to have them in for that, as says Copter. And also, we've got their Women Asian Cup is on tonight. And also, we have got their, I really like my VR headset. And that is one that George really wants to be able to get as you have to have a look at the video I put on the Discord. Hilarious as well, says David the Mod. I will give it a little look later on. There's one bit of hair that is trying to tickle my forehead, and I don't appreciate it at the moment. Sebastian said, hello. Welcome in to the live stream. I hope you are doing fantastic at the moment. We are getting closer and closer, 2 minutes away from the next one getting underway here for the first eliminator final. And also, we have got that 10 terabyte will be tiny in another 10 years' time. Yeah, it's weird how quickly technology kind of has developed in the last little while. Like, that's the thing. Remember when a flip phone was like so fancy, and now it's like, oh yeah, but you can touch this one screen, and it's like, yeah, technology. It's a weird one, but you know, it's forever changing. Soon we'll be floating around like you just have a little, you know, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know that movie? You'll end up taking a little tiny pill, and then you'll be able to fly across the ocean to be able to get to Australia and get yourself a mango. I feel like when they do that, I'll be a very happy man. We have got their Hey Steve as well, says it Robert, and also we have got there the George emojis, also a few other emojis from it. Sebastian as well. Appreciate you being. Also, that was actually Xavier, and also hello David. Now Peter Hanscom, he is going to be ready to go. Where is my coverage gone? Okay, there we go. It is back. It decided to go to, for some reason, a black screen for half a second there, but we have put it full screen. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Elliot D has said, who do you think is going to win? I think the Hobart Hurricanes have got a good chance here. And also, flip phones are bad. I've got an Optus Samsung as well, says Frank. I remember, like, anytime you got a phone call, which wasn't very often because I didn't have many contacts, you just flip it up and you'd be like, yep, that's right. I have a flip phone, ladies and gentlemen. Or you get your Nokia and throw it at a wall, and it just works. Nowadays, if you drop your phone on the carpet from about 2 centimeters, it cracks the screen. And it's always weird watching movies from the 2000s when they don't even have smartphones as well. And starting off with the man himself, Bolland, as yeah, they've decided, you know, we'll throw him in the deep end. But that is something that we've seen from Bolland so far, that he is able to adapt to the circumstances extremely quickly. Because that's the other side of it as well. He's going to be up against Alex Carey for some of this first over, perhaps. And Scott Bolland at the MCG, where that man is the most popular around Australia, which is hard to do because that man is popular everywhere he goes. He probably can't go down the street anymore without someone trying to buy him a beer or shake his hand. Currently, 57 matches, 69 wickets for Scotty Bolland. His best is 4 for 30. He certainly had a better score than that. And the Ashes, 6 for 7. Can he do it again in this game? And also, Aussie won by 10 wickets, chasing 150. And at 17 or 17.3 overs as well, says Kai Broom. So, yeah, very impressive from the Australians. I said they started very nicely. And also, Bolland and Carey, those names sound familiar. As Alex Carey on strike, Bolland bowling. It is left alone there by Alex Carey. A test match-esque leave from Alex Carey there for the very first one. What a number as well. And there's his captain, James. And also, let's go Hurricanes and Matthew Wade. It's kick-ass time. And there says David the Mod. And, yeah, they will certainly be looking towards that game up against the Sydney Thunder, because the Sydney Thunder, they're not going to be an easy beat for whoever wins this game. But then whoever wins that next game between the Thunder and the winner of this game goes on to face the loser of the Scorchers versus the Sixers. It's a weird system, but you kind of learn it as we go. Alex Carey advances down the wicket, hits it down the ground, and that is going to be going close to the boundary. He does get it for 4 runs down the ground for the opening boundary of the match. We takeaway, or what takeaway should I get for dinner? So it says Xavier Brown. I'd say, Okay, if it was me, I would probably get some Chinese, something like that maybe. But then also Subway's a good option. I do enjoy Subway. And also very good that I still have a little cell phone that's 15 years old. I just use it for calls and texts because it feels in my jeans auxiliary pocket. It's on the SSBA on 3 wickets for Scotty Boland tonight. Can he do it? That's the big question. He's charging him once again. It's a good ball. It's hit down the ground from Alex Carey. They take the quick single, and he does get himself to the non-strikers end. So him and Short are going to be the opening combo. Now, Matt Short, he has been hitting the ball extremely hard throughout the while, and Boland doesn't get him maiden over. I'm in shock, as says Abdullah. And also, I think McDermott will do great. Yeah, he has been standing up in the big moments for Ben McDermott. And also, even though they lost that last game, he had a decent knock at the crease, got himself the 50. So he will have a lot of confidence going into this one. And also, we'll get the Subway and a meal. It's a lunchtime snack as well, says BAL. Or it depends if you have 3 of them or not. 3 Subway footlongs, they keep you going for a little while. Overall, I would say. Currently, 56% chance that the Adelaide Strikers go on to win this game. It is going to be whipped to the leg side once again. Nicely played. And that is going to be Short. They come back for the 2. And also, is it too late to say 166? It is not, mate. I will mark that one down for you as well. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Looking like a very nice surface at the MCG. Looks like a drop-in pitch as well. They are going to have another game here, not tomorrow, but the next night. Whoever plays up against the Sydney Thunder are going to be playing at the MCG. We have got there 3 of them as well. And their classic chicken is my favourite stuff, says David the Mod. Very nice one. I can eat 2 large pizzas. It's Xavier Brown. See, I feel like 2 large pizzas is probably quite tricky for myself. I feel like I can get through like 1. Although I guess it depends on the large. If you're going for extra large, then there's no show of me finishing more than the 1. Even trying to finish 1 and stuff as well. On my first phone, you couldn't text between networks. My husband was with Vodafone back then. So I went to Vodafone, and texts were like 20 cents as well. Says Novan, yeah, back in the day of, I guess, kind of those no monthly plans. It was always you paid for what you had in that regard. And also, I can eat 2 large pizzas too in a whole week. And 98 all out for the Strikers, says Xavier Brown. I mean, nicely played. Well bowled by Scotty Boland, only going for the 7 runs off the first over. And it is going to be 7 for none now for the Strikers. We have got their meatball sub as my favourite, but I'd rather make my own hot dogs as well. And there says BAL. It was a little bit of a way movement, using his feet nicely for Alex Carey, something that he wasn't really able to do throughout the Ashes. I can eat a 15-inch pizza and still have room for cheesecake as well. Well, cheesecake is very nice. I feel like there's always room for cheesecake, even if it's just a little bit. You got to have that cheesecake. It is a solid start to the match for both sides, really. It's about 50-50, and currently the Hobart Hurricanes, to win this game, they are sitting 45% compared to the 55% of the Adelaide Strikers. So that's actually changed quite a bit, because before the match, the Hobart Hurricanes were sitting as the 52% favourites, I believe, to be able to go on and win this one. But now Riley Meredith, the big man with pace, going to be ready to go. 149, says Brank there in the chat. And also, for the last game against Melbourne Stars, was Hurricanes. Lots of runs given the power play. Definitely Strikers have a good, I have also some good start here. And also, there's always room for Jaffa Cakes as well, says Sebastian. But now it is going to be Riley Meredith bowling to Alex Carey, 150k, something that he would have experienced a little bit with Mark Wood. That's going to be lofted all just through the fingertips of Tim David, out through point, and it is going to be the 4 runs. But it was almost the chance for the catch. And if they had Alex Carey out early, is Mountain Dew any good as well? Says Xavier, I think I've only had Mountain Dew once, if I'm not wrong. I think it was probably when I was about 15, somewhere around there. I thought it was all right. Overall, I guess I just have Fanta now. Instead, also, there's always room for Tim Tams, as our preacher brother, as I says BAL. But currently now, Alex Carey moves up to 9 runs off 4 deliveries. We've got plenty of BBL action. Even though we're up to the finals, we are going to be well and truly just rearing to go, going for it every single match, including the final next week. Shot once again from Alex Carey. Pierce in the field. It's going to be a chase for Scotty Boland now. I will say his fielding is normally a bit questionable at times for Scotty Boland, but he's done very nicely. Go along the boundary rope like it is a tight rope, and was able to do nicely. Out that new Xbox holdout, Amish as well. And there says David the Mod. At the moment, my old Xbox, it is still wrapped up in bubble wrap, but the new one's going pretty nicely so far. Did you get an Xbox One? I did get one a while ago when on live stream for the gaming channel, my Xbox actually blew up, which was not ideal. I did jump a little bit there, as I don't like Xavier. It's too sweet for my personal preference. Sprite and 7-Up are superior as well. And there's Sebastian. Well bowled by Riley Meredith, getting that angle. I guess you could say straight across Alex Carey. And he will be able to have a relatively economical 1 year, even though, unfortunately for him, I mean, he's the leading wicket taker by a mile for the Hobart Hurricanes, but he also has that extra pace that Alex Carey will be able to use to his advantage. I think Tim Dance are the same as Penguins here as well. And also, you got there, Drew Sebastian, and also his Mountain Dew Fizzy. It is indeed. So it is pretty much, I guess, a different type of soft drink. Now, I'm trying to think of what the closest comparison would be, but I don't think I can think of one for in the UK. Now running in Meredith. It's a good pitched up delivery straight down the ground. There's always going to be pace on that ball, no matter whether or not it's a slower ball or a quicker ball. It's always going to be steaming off the bat. What stream I did a blow up on. Can we watch it as well? Says Xavier Brown. I actually do have the clip, Xavier. I could put it up at halftime in this one if you like. I've got it saved in my kind of like footage for this one, so I can literally press a button and it will pop up on the screen a little bit later on. But yeah, it was one of the GTA ones that we were doing, but I have got the clip there. So we'll be able to show it a little bit later on. And also, yes, BAL. And it's liquid sugar, basically, excessively sweet, as well, says Sebastian. Currently now charging in once again, Riley Meredith. Or tries to hit it off the hip there for Alex Carey, and he is able to get through for the single. It's a direct hit, but they will not get the overthrow for that one. Riley Meredith also going for a total of 7 runs so far. And Pie Muncher has set a low as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. And also we have got there. I thought Gator Road was fizzy because anything ending in 8 is fizzy here as well. And I remember the night the Xbox blew up very well. And there says David, yeah. Yeah, it was unfortunate. We were halfway through our live stream and who knew that was going to be taking place. That's the thing. We didn't get to play Rugby League live for about, it was about probably 2 months after that. We haven't actually played it again yet at this point in time. I do have it on my PC now. Riley Meredith. Final ball of the over. It's pitched up. It's nicely whipped off the pads, though, by Matt Shaw. Racing close to the boundary. Well fielded in the deep by Jordan Thompson, though. And I believe they will keep it to. They've got back for the 3. And Shaw will be on strike for the next over. 17 runs, 0 wickets off the 2 overs so far. And also should I get the Vegemite pizza? I haven't actually tried a Vegemite pizza before, but it sounds like, for me, if you're getting a pizza, you might as well get something with a little bit of oomph on it, a little bit of chicken, a little bit of something like that. As I also like some go the Thunder as well. And this is Las Vegas Raiders fan forever. And at the moment, the Thunder, they will be playing off against the winner of this game on Sunday, New Zealand time. And we will be covering that game on the channel as well. Bolin still hungover from partying as well. And there says by much. And also, I stopped eating Marmite Vegemite after the incident with my eats. As well says BAL. And also, will it work for me to join in Fortnite? From New Zealand as well, says Frank. Will it work for you? Join me in Fortnite from New Zealand. I don't think they've got a limitation of kind of what region of the world you can be in for the service, although I haven't actually been on the game for a very long time. That's going to be a bit of an aggressive shot from Matt Short, just a bit short from Rogers, and that is going to be hit away to the boundary out mid-wicket way. Another boundary. So at the moment, these two starting to ramp it up here for the Adelaide Strikers. I actually said that they would get 158. I feel like I'm already regretting that because it seems like they're going aggressive. I mean, on the MCG surface now that it's possible to get 273 after that game between the Melbourne Stars and the Hobart Hurricanes. And I also mentioned for the Adelaide Strikers, looking back as well at that last game, they will go, right, if we can put the bowlers under pressure here, they will keep on changing their bowlers. And then from there, you get yourself in a good position. We have got the Hammer Job interview today. So hopefully it did go quite nicely for yourself. And I'm going, I stay in the room with the Raiders head, just kidding as well. And this is BAL. See, I feel like I don't really know the NRL, or sorry, not the NRL, the NFL rivalries at this stage. I would like to watch a little bit more of the NFL at some stage in the near future, perhaps. I'm just quickly going to see the full-time score for Russia versus Brazil was actually 15 points to Russia and 10 to Brazil. So that is the score that they had in that game. Anyone who was wondering about that one for the sevens, we will be covering a little bit of sevens a little bit later on. All good mate as well there. Says a Raiders fan forever. That's going to be hit down the ground. He didn't quite get enough of it. Yes, he does. Just clears the field, and that is going to be another 4 runs here. Rogers put under pressure, and just as we spoke about the NFL, Zal says Xavier Brown. I feel like that would be a very smart maneuver indeed. Currently 16 runs off 9 for Alex Carey. He doesn't even really have to overhit the ball. He's just got the timing factor. Just a little bit slower. By the likes of that, Tom Rogers, he had to kind of, I guess you could say, if he was going to bowl the slow ball, he couldn't bowl it there because Alex Carey was able to bounce on it very nicely and early on in that one as well. Currently, the Adelaide Strikers, they are going at over 10 runs per over. This is similar to what we saw for the Melbourne Stars up against the Hobart Hurricanes and Carey slapping as well. And there says Aussie Mozzie. And also, don't forget, you were supporting the LA Chargers 2 weeks ago with me, Hamish, as well. So they don't get along then, I assume. The LA, so Los Angeles and Las Vegas, they don't like each other, I would assume there. Shot down the ground once again from Alex Carey, just slapping that one away to the boundary like someone mentioned. And now he's sitting on 20 runs off 10 deliveries. So the question of whether or not he would be able to adapt straight back into T20 cricket, yes, he can indeed. And he is looking like he's going to be a very solid asset to have throughout the game, not just this one. And if they make it through to the next one, it's up against the Thunder as well, because they have got Usman Khawaja, the two lefties. So it was close to the hand of Tom Rogers, but it was flying. And it would have been very tough to be able to take that one. So far, in the first 2.4 overs, we have seen 5 boundaries. And they've been all 4. He whips it to the lead side now for Alex Carey. Scotty Boland feels it. And that is going to be just the single. He moves up to 21 off 11. A little yawn coming in. And 10 runs off 6 for Matt Short as well. So both of these guys are just going at 1,000 miles an hour. And it seems like they want to go for that total of around the 200. They decided that they wanted to bat first. So it's so important that they set a massive total on the board. And also, judges versus raters are like England versus Australia, and the Ashes are. Okay, so they don't like each other too much at all. Right, that is noted. I'll have to try and remember all the big rivalries of the NFL and also of the, I guess the, the NBA, as well as another one of the American sports. It's gone straight up in the air for Matt Short, but it's a top edge, and it is going to be going close to 6, and it does make it for 4. Not able to cut it off there, Riley Meredith attacking the ball hard. Rogers off his first over. Goes for 18 as well. All the best to you, and good luck, Xavier Brown. And there is for the job interview. And the Raiders used to be based in Oakland and the Chargers in San Diego. There's still the old Californian rivalry as well, I think, despite having relocated in Sebastian. So there we go. So I guess, yeah, it's like, I was going to say similar to State of Origin, kind of like New South Wales Blues versus Queensland, although they never quite were in the same region of Australia. That was a big old top edge. There's a massive burger on the screen in the background. But currently, just having a chat to Peter Hanscom, and they are under pressure early. Bears versus Backers is the biggest and oldest rivalry in the NFL, and also not looking good for Hobart right now. Says Captain James. Yeah, at the moment, the Hobart Hurricanes, they have got a 32% chance of going on to win this game with 3 overs in. It's 35 for none. Scott Boland, it's going to be whipped off the bats of Alex Carey into the outfield. And that is once again going to be another 2 runs. Alex Carey's in very good nick at the moment. They do just to take a few, but Scotty Boland, like they're saying, he's gone for more than 7 tonight. At this point in time, sitting 9 for none off the 1.1 over. So 9 runs off 7 balls for Boland. He's got a lot of wicket maidens, a lot of maidens throughout the Ashes. But Anskin just saying that the preparation for Boland's still pretty much the same. That's a shot down the ground from Alex Carey. He uses the feet nicely, hits it over the outfield, and that is going to be a 1 bounce 4. But Alex Carey, I had no idea the Raiders were Las Vegas now. Kind of ruined the reputation of Las Vegas. So, and this is mentioned also, we have got their Los Angeles Chargers have a rivalry with the Denver Broncos as well, says Frank. But that is a brilliant shot from Alex Carey. He's just going after everything that is on a full length at the moment, and he is hitting a lot of them over the field, over the top of mid-off with that one. Oh, he's hit it straight down the ground there once again for Alex Carey. They take the quick single, and they do get there very nicely. We have got there, I don't know, 37 off 3 overs. Isn't anything to be worried about right now, as us says BAL. And also, does anyone else hate the Patriots? And this is David the Mod. Currently, I would say, yeah, that's the thing, 42 for none off the overs that they have had here. That was a weird sentence, wasn't it? I was saying head, but of course Travis Head, he's going to be coming in at 4, which I think is where that word ended up coming from. Also, they've got Cobain still on very nicely for himself. That's going to be worth a little bit of an LBW, a little bit high though. They do take on the run out, but they get through for the lead by way of their Royal America, and it'd be good enough in cricket to play a decent country as well. Says Copter, it's a good question. It's a very good question, and I feel like that's the thing we saw actually. Was it America were able to beat one of the bigger dogs in Ireland, I think, in more recent times for the T20 side of it, which was pretty impressive if I have got that one right. But yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not they do keep on developing and kind of, I guess you could say, put funding into cricket, because it's one of those ones that the Americans, it would be cool to see them on the world stage, definitely if they do want to host a few more World Cups. I think that is their goal for throughout the world. They're going to host the Rugby World Cup at some stage, maybe even the Cricket World Cup. It's a short ball from bowling and it is pulled away by Alex Carey down to Peter Anscombe. Currently, he's sitting on 29 off 15, Alex Carey here. And also another Raiders in Vegas were made for each other as well. Show but no go, and also USA has 33 in the global T20 international rankings, and Fiji over USA at cricket. This is Xavier Brown. I'm trying to think of the last Fijian person that I've seen play cricket. Oh, right. I know that when it comes to the sevens department, Fiji, it would have been awesome to see them. And in the sevens, that's a big shot from short. It's kind of gone straight up in the air, though. And it is, it's dropped. There was an absolute sitter for Tom Rogers underneath the ball. Should have been the easiest take of the night, maybe. In the field, he kind of ended up, he tried to take it there, it fell out of the hands. He went there, fell out of the hands, fell out of the hands one more time, and he has put it down. And at the moment, Scotty Boland, he could have had the wicket. And that would have been a massive wicket to get a match short as well. And also, we have got the Rockets starting by the Strikers, or Rockets starting by the Strikers. And also, there's 86 teams in the global rankings. And China 83rd as well, says BAL. And also, that is most, which one have we got there? Sean Kai Brune with the Fiji over USA. And also, we got there the Vegas Golden Knights. My team in the NHL as well. They are pretty good. Also, a nice fan base. See, Sebastian, but that is a massive mistake from Tom Rogers, something that he doesn't normally do too often. I went straight up, match short. The thing is, he always ends up either getting himself out early or he gets himself a big total. It ended up bouncing off the knee, and he knew straight away that he had put it down there for Tom Rogers. Hit his hands, then from there, hit his knee, went down onto the ground. America could have some awesome sloggers with baseball experience as well. And there's this got this. I feel like T20 probably is their best format at this point in time. And Darcy Short now going to be sitting there, 5 wickets off 15 matches. I'll link to Alex Carey. He's played the nice cut shot. We're outside of the power surge, though, or the power play. So it does mean they're allowed a few more men back on the ring, and they will be needing them because they're finding a lot of boundaries early on here with a current 68% chance as well. Currently now we are sitting 0 of 45. 45 runs that is live at the I almost said the SCG, but the MCG is the name that we were after. Nicely played down the ground. Once again, my short just looking like he's pulled back a little bit in terms of the aggression. Well, he does get himself reset, and also the Golden Knights are full of bandwagon fans as well, because they've only been around 2 years and already won the Stanley Cup. And Boland's wicketless after 2 overs to get it take off. Boland's statue as well, long gone. His 6 for 7 figures as well, says Abdullah. Although, of course, T20 a lot different to the Test match side of it. That's a good cover drive. Alex Carey and he will once again back, or get back for the 2-2. What sentences are hard today, aren't they? They aren't quite rolling off the tongue as well. And currently, I am just seeing whether or not, okay, France versus England for the sevens is going on at the moment for the women, but we will be covering a few sevens games later on tonight, and also maybe even the Harlequins versus Castro in the morning. That's going to be lofted there from Alex Carey, timing it nicely. Caleb Jewell once again fields it in the deep. They get back for the easy 2. And currently just rotating the strike very nicely here for the Adelaide Strikers. His average against pace is a lot lower than it is against spin for Alex Carey, so he will be enjoying this, but currently sitting on 34 of 18 deliveries. That's what he is going to be sitting on. Dragged down a little bit from short, and it is going to be the single for Alex Carey, moving up to 35. He's already quite close to getting to his 50. Alex Carey, he's looking on fire at the MCG early on. It's a big boundary, but yeah, I mean, it's the thing. You've got plenty of space for the 2s and the 3s if you do want them as well. I just got to Tunisia a few hours ago, as well, says Zev, and also 50 come up for these Strikers, as well, says Michelle. Yeah, they are sitting on 51 of only 4.5 overs. Very good start to the match for them. That one bit of here, it's really going to annoy me the way it was dangling down. It makes me look like I'm Superman, but I'm not Superman because, yeah, pretty much haven't seen Superman, so can't comment too much on that. I feel like that will make a lot of people disappointed. That's an end of the over now. Once again, still 10.4 as the run rate after 5 overs, short to short as well. And they're both taller than Carey As on there says Abdullah, and also we have got there. Oh, we haven't won a Stanley Cup, mate, as well. Been in the final against Washington in 2018, but we lost it 4-1. Well, it's nice to see another BBL cricket stream. Thank you, as well, says Kevin. No worries, mate. And we have also got the sevens later on tonight, which is going to be very exciting. Then we've got the URC tomorrow night alongside some Champions Cup action. So we've got plenty of rugby and plenty of cricket around in the near future. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. They're just showing the highlights. And one of them for Tom Rogers, that was a crucial drop. They will be hoping to get rid of Matt Short relatively soon. They've still got Cobain. They've still got Travis Head, Wells, Renshaw, Kelly. They've got a deep batting line up here for the Adelaide Strikers. You remember Meatloaf, the singer, Hamish as well, says Robert. I do indeed. And no, you're not Superman, but you're the Kiwi man. As on there says, I will take it. And also, we've got the 51 off 5 overs is actually pretty good. That's a 200 run innings if it lasts as well. Thompson bowls. It's a good Yorker. A little bit leg side-ish, though, and that is going to be racing away for 4 more runs. Yeah, so it's either going to be leg buys or it's runs off the bat. I think they've actually given the runs to Darcy Short for that one. Oh, sorry, Matt Short. 21 off 12. So both men going at that strike rate of almost 200 at the moment. He died an hour ago. I was like, oh, that's not good for Meatloaf there. And also, there's Bova, who was a Springbok in 70s or 80s, did a season or two for the San Francisco 49ers as the kicker as well. Says David the Mod, and also we have got there. And then my shower, or sorry, my cat was watching me when I was in the shower. Says more cake. I see. Interesting circumstances there for your cat. Our cat's actually a bit of a weird one because he likes to, like, if the bathroom door is slightly open, he'll go into the shower area and just, like, if there's a puddle of water on the ground, that's what he drinks rather than the drink that we offer him. I don't know what it is. He's just like, you know what? This looks like it's decent water. We'll just drink this instead. So sometimes you just put the shower on for a little bit of time, stop it, and then he'll just have a drink. It's weird, but he's a cat and he's a weird one. As cool. My favorite is the Steelers as well. And there says Frank. But currently now Alex Carey sitting there, 35 of 19, whipping it to the league side once again. Nicely played by that man. And it is going to be once again the single Tom Rogers fielding that one. And at the MCG, I bet you they would have loved to have like 50,000 in attendance, but sadly not allowed to for this one. Is that Daniel Worrell? No, that's Travis Head that they are showing there with the mask on. It's always hard to tell who a player is with the mask. And yes, Steve, sorry. I thought they won as well, says BL, and also minus the charges, says a more cake. Currently, slow ball from Thompson to the leg side once again for the single. The MSC has a drop in pitch as well, says more cake. It does indeed. And it will be interesting to see whether or not they switch out the drop and pitch for the next match as well, because we have got the game between the Thunder and the winner of this match will be playing here at the MCG. So you'd say it's almost a little advantage for whoever wins this game because they would have already played the conditions. They're currently Short sitting on 23 or 14. And who's the strongest? Who'd be stronger? Or who'd be stronger? Hamish, Superman, or Batman if they were real? I mean, if they were real, probably, I guess, Superman, because he has got that super side of him. Whereas, like, I mean, Batman would take a lot of roids, I would think, to try and get stronger, but then can't be pure, like, kind of superness, maybe. Oh, well, mate, Logan's there at 74 as well. And there says David the Mod, like, yeah, a bit of tragic news for the 21st of January there. But currently 9 runs for Thompson off the first 5 deliveries of the match as well. For him, anyway, in his bowling department, my cat vomited on my bed. Protector sheet as well. That's lucky. Your cat seems to be all over the place at times, more cake. And also New Zealand needs an ice hockey team. That would be a laugh as well. The Icy All Blacks. As I said, Sebastian, that will be the end of the over. 62 off the first 6 here for the Adelaide Strikers, ticking over very nicely currently. And also who winning fight, Superman or Spider-Man or giant rolled up newspaper man? As I said, Bow, that's a great question. Depends on how giant the man is. Also, we have got there the headline was Steve Smith bid to play BBL finals with the Sydney Sixers was rejected. Although, to be honest, this is going to sound like an unpopular opinion. I feel like they won't need him for that one. They've still got a few very good batsmen at the top of the order. They've got Philippi. They've got themselves Daniel Hughes. They've got Moses Enriquez. They've got all these guys who have very impressive strike rates. I feel like they will be all right in that regard. There we go. Still got the hay fever going on at the moment, even though we are getting close to the end of January. Still going to be about, at the moment, England versus France for the women's department. 33 points to 17 for the 70s giant. The clue is in his name as well. I mean, giant. Yeah, it's big, but it depends on how giant is. Because like we got Andre the Giant, who's about 7 foot, 7'3", something like that. But then you've got like someone else who's a giant. Is a bit bigger, you know, Jack and the Beanstalk. That giant was pretty big. And also we got that, if you can't blink slowly, it's saying they love you as well. It says more cake there. And also we have got the Yes Irish Superman all day. But currently now it is Riley Meredith. This man can bowl about 150, which some would consider superhuman-esque. Words are hard today. I've learnt that little bit of hair is going to really annoy me. I'm going to get the scissors soon. But 6.2 overs down at the moment. 64 for none. Currently sitting here for the Strikers. Alex Carey set out there with 40 off 23. Short set out there as well with 24 off 15. And also we've got there, Hamish would be overthinking that 100%. 100%. And I feel like my brain is always thinking something, which is why I've got all those hard drives there thinking maybe I need to edit them at some point in time. But now Riley Meredith, 2 singles so far off this over. Short ball, mid-wicket pull shot from Alex Carey. And once again, just going to be the single. So still ticking over very nicely, though, for the Adelaide Strikers, going at more than 10 runs and over. And Cheeky likes boxes and is a lazy cat. As on there says more cake. The run rate still sitting at the 10 short. You got to wonder how much of a regret or how much of a mistake would it be of putting him down earlier on from Tom Rogers if they do end up, maybe that's the thing with short getting a 50, it would be very tough for them as well to keep on going on and try and get themselves in a winning position at the moment. The Hobart Hurricanes sitting 28%. That's off the edge of short. Once again, it's a top edge. It's going all the way for 6 as well. And he is now moving up to 30. And every big shot that he hits is going to be one more thought in the head of Tom Rogers. He went for 18 off his first over. He's been exceptional throughout the whole of the BBL, but they rested him in the last match. And you wonder whether or not maybe the form has disappeared a little bit. Surely not, though. It's only a couple of days since he has played his last match for the Hobart Hurricanes as well. But the extra pace working very nicely there for Matt Short. But Meredith, he's gone for 9 runs so far. I did mention with that extra pace, you can really open up the opportunity of being able to just get a little edge on it. That's going to be a good pull shot, though. There's nothing to do with the edge on that shot. Straight out of the middle of the bat down to Caleb Jewell. And that is going to be, once again, the single. So Meredith has gone for 20 runs of 1.5 overs so far for the Hobart Hurricanes. Gary, he is back on strike. 41 runs of 24 deliveries. I've realised now, with them sitting on 72 for none, my prediction of 158 probably isn't going to be a very good one. In fact, anything under about 100 and maybe 170, 180 might be maybe a decent one as well. My prediction of 162 ain't going to last as well. For if this partnership keeps on going, it's dropped again. Another dropped opportunity there for the Hobart Hurricanes. Just enough of a hand on it. Allow Tim David to cut it off in the deep, but they will be running back for the 3 runs here. Alex Carey will be back on strike for the next over. Or will he? No, they get another overthrow and they have an all-run 4. It's just getting from bad to worse here for the Hobart Hurricanes. They need to find a way of changing this momentum or else they might be in quite a bit of trouble. You've got there about they keep this partnership going. My prediction of 162 ain't going to last as well. And I mean, that little moment there for the Hobart Hurricanes sums up how it has been going early on for them. It was a ramp shot, went through the hands of whoever that was who wasn't quite able to put it down. It was going to be a tough catch. Then from there, Tim David, he chased after it. No one allowed him to do the kind of, I guess you'd say, the kind of relay throw as well. And also, you look like similar to Jason Gillespie with your little mustache, as I says Frank there. And I'd say with everyone putting in a good total against Hobart. Yeah, at the moment. How hard of a catch was this? It was a tough chance to be able to take that catch. But then from there, Tim David, he was the only man who did run after that ball, and there was no one there for the relay. And also, they can't afford drops like that if they want to win as a call in the X Factor drop bowling as well. And this is Abdullah. Although I think at this stage you drop to Tom Rogers maybe as your option. One moment we will go down I'd say you bring in, they've got 2 batsmen as the X factor. They weren't expecting to need to possibly switch out a bowler. That is going to be the dot ball. First dot ball in quite a while we have seen as well. But Riley Meredith, he's been expensive so far throughout this matchup. Same with Tom Rogers, 2 of the men who normally have the best economy rates for the Hobart Hurricanes at using his feet nicely, almost all. Okay, that's it. Alex Carey's bat. Then it's hit the shin of the umpire, and then it's bounced back for a chance for the bowler. There wasn't a good throw from Tim David, and they got the overthrow as well. And where the sound as well. And there says Kevin, where the sound? Where the sound? Where the sound? Says Kevin, that is a confusing question. Maybe on my side, as I said, Kevin, yeah, I think the volume got to turn it up a little bit more, perhaps. Shot down the ground. That is a brilliant shot. Piercing the 2 men down the ground, and that's going to be another 4 runs for Alex Carey. He moves up onto 49 now for himself of 26 deliveries, 81 for none of 7.3 overs here for the Adelaide Strikers. And currently looking at the live odds, 23% chance that the Hobart Hurricanes go on to win this game. And that was almost 50-50 at the start of this one. So it's certainly forever changing. Oh, he's tried a sweep shot there, Alex Carey. Hasn't quite got onto it. First, almost unorthodox shot, I guess we have seen from Alex Carey so far. But PredictViz says that the Strikers are going to get themselves 199 runs here. Parker will be under pressure for this matchup. They're missing Nathan Ellis at the moment here for the Hobart Hurricanes. I believe that is due to injury. That was way down the leg side. They will be able to get through for just the lead by. We have got there. Could you please update the scoreboard as well? It's quite a bit behind. Jeez, it's only at 6, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Thank you, Sebastian. Your scoreboard is behind. As on there. Says, no, I'm right. Hopefully it does keep on behaving itself. I feel like that was because I moved my mouse by half a little tiny inch to the side. Cut shot once again from Matt Short. And that is going to be just a single to close out the over. So a decent one from Barker, only the 6 runs of it. And also, when are the Strikers betting going to collapse, or when is the Strikers going to collapse as well? What's the real score? So currently we are sitting 83 for none here for this one. So currently we are just looking at whoever wins this game, they will move on to face the Thunder in the near future. And that is going to be on Sunday. Tomorrow night, we've got whoever wins the game between the Scorchers and the Sixers. They are going to be able to move themselves on to the final on Friday, the 28th of January, which we are also going to be covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Normally, our scoreboard behaves itself, and sometimes not quite. And Meatloaf died as well. I did see a little bit earlier on that it was, I think it was Robert who said about it as well. A little bit of sad news for today, of course, and also what's a little tiny inch in metric. What's a little tiny inch in metric as well? Probably, I know that 1 inch is 3 centimeters, if that helps. So maybe like a few millimeters, maybe. Something along those lines. But currently that is going to be another single now. Alex Carey on strike. 49 of 28 deliveries now. And sure, he is sitting there 34 of 21. So you're going to be able to nail this one, Alex Carey. If he gets a 50 going straight back into the Adelaide Strikers, Strikers side, I should say, 2 games in a row, Hobart have been smacked around the park. So that one's going to be hit to the leg side. 50 here for Alex Carey. Very nicely batted by Alex Carey. His 9th BBL 50. And what a time to bring it up as well in a final. And 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters as well. Says BAL. Oh, yeah, of course, because it's actually... Sorry, I was thinking of a Subway foot long, and it's a 30 centimeter ruler, isn't it? For some reason, I thought it was 10. And also, we've got there 50 Alex Carey. And there says Vishal. That is going to be nicely swept away by Matt Short. Just going to be ticking over. He's now on 35. Now, he could have been out a long time ago if they had been able to take the catches out. Nice 50 as I said. Yeah, it didn't really take too much time at all for Alex Carey to be able to go over. And like they're saying, he's just playing those good cricket shots that do put the bowlers under pressure. At the moment, Matt Short, he is going to be at the non-strikers end. Darcy Short, the bowler now to Alex Carey. That one's going to be the cut shot off middle stump. A little bit of a risky shot for him. Currently, that's the thing they're talking about. They've still got Travis Head as another batting option, and also Coburn, who was able to be absolutely insane. Cobain in the last match is done very nicely once again. We cut away by Alex Carey. They're attacking there. They wanted to get the run out. Not quite able to. Well, he is high. This guy's sleeping in heaven as well, says Frank. And also we got that nice 50 from a BAL. But currently the run rate sitting at 9.85 for the kind of runs per over. They're going to be able to get themselves a very good bash boost point target. But even though they don't count for this match because we are in the finals, it's just all about making your way through. Don't mind an Alex Carey half century in the BBLs. In the Ashes, however, that's going to be hit straight back down the ground from Matt Short. Crossbat, just absolute slog there from him. Matt Short. It does end up going all right. Good over from Darcy, though. He has only gone for the 5 runs, and now it is 88 for none here off the 9 overs. This one's flying by so far. 9 overs already. Why is my scoreboard not locking me today? One more. We will go like that. There we go. It's decided to update itself. Once again, I don't even think I moved the mouse for that one. Just decided that it did want to stop updating. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I can't actually see it with the way that my microphone is sitting because we haven't got our headset mic down because it doesn't like me anymore either. So we have got the microphone just there, so I got to go like that. So every once in a while, I guess I go like that and just make sure that it is still ticking over for that one. But currently, the 100 runs is just around the corner for the Adelaide Strikers, depending on who bowls this over. It's going to be Simon Parker. He only went for 6 runs, so it's looking like spin on this surface is the better option. And that will give the Adelaide Strikers, I mean, it will give them confidence, but it will also make them a bit disappointed that they don't have Rashid Khan in their camp anymore. But instead, they've got Matt Short. He is able to bowl a bit of spin. Travis Head, even if he needs to. Matty Renshaw. You've also got Fawad Ahmed as well. So I feel like the momentum well and truly in this game is going the way of the Adelaide Strikers just for now. But currently now, once again, Parker giving himself space. Oh, it's hit hard down the ground, straight into the fingers of Parker, but he has been able to take it nicely. That was not going to be an easy one to stop for Will Parker, but lined it up early, gave it plenty of flight, which is something, it was actually a caught and bowled attempt for him as well. It was close. Half opportunity, but it would have been an incredible catch if he was able to nail it. Once again, the cut shot from Alex Carey, getting himself a single sound back was incredible. Other few days, total past 200 plus as well. Yeah, over 270 runs. They got 273, which was absolutely incredible. But at the moment, Travis Head here, he is sitting out there. He will be 4th in the batting lineup. They may not even need him, depending on whether or not this partnership does get broken. I don't think we've had an innings so far in the BBL that I can think of in recent time where a team batting first has not lost a single wicket. And unless strikers collapse, they will get past my prediction of 149. Is on there, says Frank. Yeah, I feel like even a prediction of about 180 or so might be an interesting one. We have got this. Should I subscribe? So listen, it is up to you, mate. At the end of the day, if you do enjoy what we're doing on the channel and you do kind of want to be notified, I guess that's the best way of doing it. If not, then it's all good as well. But yeah, if you do want to hit that subscribe button, usually appreciate it. We have got the only bowling a bowl like this in the Ashes as well, says Sebastian. Going to be dragged down. Matt Short gets on the length early. Does hit. It's just over the field. And tell you what, that's gone straight over the head of Darcy Short. That might make them very annoyed because Parker, I mean, if it was more of a senior bowler, you would have been saying maybe because he was trying to cut off the 2 too much. And the answer is yes. Yes, as our Hurricanes need to slow them down a bit now, as they do indeed. Currently a good shot down the ground, out mid-wicket way and just over the top of Darcy Short, trying to cut down on the 2, but instead did expose the 4. It'll be hard once again by Matt Short, who is now moving up closer and closer to the 50. He will be up to 43 now. This has been a very good first 10 overs by the Adelaide Strikers, sitting 97 for none now for themselves. But currently, Alex Carey, he's been able to bring up the 50, I should say. Same with Matt Short, but this is the wrong time for the Hobart Hurricanes to find a little bit of that, I guess you could say, that rough bowling line and length as when it's the semi-finals as well. And this is given, so this kind of is a semi-final in the regards to the fact that if a team does end up losing this game, they are out of the BBL. So pretty much the winner of this game faces the Thunder, who were sitting 3rd, and then it will be in the situation of from there, whoever wins that game faces the loser of the first versus second game tomorrow. And then whoever goes on to the next one. It's a weird system, but pretty much it's about 3 or 4 more games. And then we're into the final as well. Let's go Hurricanes. So it says Joseph, and also I do like cricket. I go for the Sydney Thunder. So I hope they win. I go the Thunder as well, says Nissen there. Yeah, I feel like it's a good team to be supporting. Usman Khawaja, he's been going nicely. Daniel Sams, Chris Green. You're looking at quite a few good options there. I wish Sam Billings would still get there because he was doing very nicely for himself recently, but they're showing there the Perth Scorchers versus the Sydney Sixers that will be taking place at Marvel Stadium tomorrow. Should be a very exciting game. And it will be 9:15 New Zealand time that one will be starting for the PM. So it is, says this in there. But currently it will be Mitchell Marsh taking on the likes of a Josh Philippi, anyone along those lines. And the big lineup of the Sydney Sixers we have got there. Where do you live in New Zealand? I'm heading down there next year to try out their cappuccino as well, says Frank. So pretty much in New Zealand, I am situated in the South Island, South Canterbury, that kind of region as well. And also we have got their wonderful batting by the Strikers. I do think that whoever wins this game will lose against the Thunder. They're fabulous. As on there, said Sebastian. Thanks so much. Every game from here on must win. Exactly right. Any game from here that you lose, other than the game tomorrow night between the Sixers and the Scorchers, whoever loses that game gets a second chance. But everyone else from then on in the competition, that is going to be when we see teams unfortunately getting knocked out. We've already seen that the Brisbane Heat, the Melbourne Renegades, and the Melbourne Stars all miss out on the finals playoffs. But currently, Alex Carey, he is sitting there, 52 of 33 deliveries. He will be on strike, man. Short at the non-strikers in 43 runs of 27 deliveries. He is looking very tough for himself. And the one are going to have to agree there, mate, as well. And it is the power surge now being taken. So they're keeping that momentum going. Alex Carey here, he is going to be rearing to go and trying to get himself closer and closer to maybe 100 on the board here. It's going to be a nice shot by Alex Carey. Straight to the fielder. Well fielded there by Darcy Short. At the moment, it seems like, they're saying about Darcy Short. Or sorry, not Darcy Short. They're saying about Matthew Wade, how important he will be for this one. Time for a Friday sarnie for breakfast as well. Sounds decent. In that regard, and also we have got there. Have you ever gone to Tunisia? I have not. The furthest away that I've been is either Australia or Indonesia. 200 total on the cards from Sebastian, yeah. If they keep on going the way that they're going here, who knows? Maybe we get to see another couple hundred score on the BBL, and that will be extremely tough for the likes of a McDermott, a Wade, a Short, and a Hanscom to be able to try and chase down another wide. Well, I feel like at the moment they just seem a bit rattled here for the Hobart Hurricanes. They seem like that line and length that they've been bowling in the past few games. Definitely not the last one, though. That was the exception. But the games before that point, they were winning quite a few of them. And the reason for that was because they were just getting that line and length right. They were batting well, but they were also bowling and fielding well, which currently in this game seems like it's kind of been sucked out of the wind of the sails of the Hobart Hurricanes. But if they can have a good 10 overs here, there's still a chance for them. Tom Rogers is a ramp attempt there. He doesn't quite get onto it for Matt Short. Currently another dot ball for Rogers, and Hamish hasn't even gone further than his local 18th tee. As I says, BAL, that it's true. I don't even normally make it to the 18th by that stage, to be fair. And also it's so hard because I want to see Darcy Short and Matt Wade in the final, but I would like to see Thunder and Strikers make it as well, says Frank. So you are caught in two minds at the moment by the sounds of it, of who you would be going for in this matchup. It's always a tough decision when it comes to trying to work out exactly, I guess you could say, who to go with in these matchups as well. Rogers, short ball, going to be hit nicely by Short, but there is a man back there just for the single. And this is a very good power surge over so far. If this is one of the best overs of the match, then that will really slow down the momentum. And that is 100 runs for the Strikers of only 10.3 overs they've been able to get. I'm confident South Africa. We've got there. I'm confident South Africa wins sevens again with no New Zealand as well. Yeah, no New Zealand, no Fiji as well. No worries, Hamish as well. We'll meet next year in France for the Rugby World Cup as well, says Sebastian there. Here we go. Maybe. Who knows? I'll have to learn a bit more French first, I think, before I head to France. That is for sure. But currently now, nicely run between the wickets, and they do get back for the 2 runs once again. Alex Carey moving up now to 55 of 35 deliveries. Who do you think is going to win? At the start of the match, I said the Hurricanes. At this stage of the match, I've got to say the Strikers. They've just started extremely well. I wasn't expecting to see the bowling line of them as well. It just hasn't quite worked out. The Hobart Hurricanes and Tunisia play tomorrow for the to go to the qualifiers. And if they win it, they will be in it as well. At 100 already. Well done, Strikers. And this is BL. Another yawn going. As well, but Alex Carey on strike. Trying to hit that one hard down the ground, and that is just going to be the single once again. So this has been a good over so far from Tom Rogers, only going for the 6 runs of it. It is part of the power surge, though. And Liam Reid, okay, that's Liam Reid, same miss you as well. And there's Ollie there. You've got a lot of people still at your house, Ollie. I've realised. But currently now, Alex Carey, he is going to be sitting there 56 off 35 short, sitting there 44 of 29. So they've got a 100-run partnership now between these two men. Rogers' final ball of this over. He went for 18 off his first. It's a short ball, well played. Oh, it's almost going to be a run-out opportunity. No, they don't get through, and that is only going to be 6 off the Tom Rogers overs. And it's kind of interesting, the fact that you can take a power surge when you're scoring at about 10 and over, and then you take your power surge, and it's actually one of the best overs they've bowled in a long time for the Hobart Hurricanes. For the Hobart Hurricanes, yawning has become my favourite thing. And then I'm not too sure what happened. All of a sudden, I was like, hey, by the way, I'll just yawn 5 times, see how we go. Hopefully that will be the last yawn. The funny thing is, when we've got our live stream this morning at about 9 a.m, if we end up doing the Champions Cup, there will be no yawns at all. I feel like it will be a weird situation of just being wide awake. That goes well. The only good news is that Hobart won't have to face Rashid Khan's leg spin as well, says Sebastian. That is true. And my friend Felix says I. So says Ollie, but currently now is going to be Matt Shaw. Alex Carey still at the crease. Wellington Phoenix scoring a goal against Western United. So for anyone who is wondering, so who will be the one the Hurricanes want to get out the most here? I would say Alex Carey, but then you've also, debatably, you got Matt Short as well, because he has been going at 44 off 30 deliveries. Riley Meredith, if they can take both of them in this over or the next one, I think that'll make them pretty happy. A little bit down the leg side, stepping across though. So it is going to be called as the dot ball for Riley Meredith. But you need both of these men out. Then you need Cobain out, and you also need Travis Head out. And debatably then from there, you need Wells, Renshaw, and Kelly all out as well. So it's not exactly a light batting lineup that they have got here for the Adelaide Strikers. They've got a good balanced side at the moment, and they'll be using it throughout this match by the looks of it. Currently, the power surge over sitting 11 off 12 deliveries, and get one of them out. Travis Head is waiting as well. Exactly right. That's going to be up in the air, hit to the leg side by Carey. They once again just get themselves a single. So it slowed down big time though in the last little while for the Adelaide Strikers in terms of the rate that they were ticking over. Just saved that yawn. I did very well there. But the MCG, I can imagine there would be a lot more people in attendance if they were able to have a larger crowd for this game. But sadly, due to restrictions, it does mean they're not allowed too many people watching for these games live. But we're still able to watch them online, which is good, right? Yawning. I'm going to have a drink, aren't I? I don't know what's happened. Thing is, I actually had quite a good sleep last night, I thought. Currently, they have got a field all out on the offside on the ring. So it's whether or not, it's whipped to the leg side. Nicely played by Short, racing close to the boundary. Well done in the deep from Scotty Boland. He will be keeping it down to just the 2 runs. And that is a good one to have. 9 balls, 9 runs in the last little while. They've got Roy Simons there with a massive fish. I was like, USA games are not going to be happening as well, says Brandon. Oh, really? Is that the case, Brandon? I will have to have a quick look and see if that will be the case. Is that for just the women's? Okay, obviously not the women's because they are still playing 22 off 7 or 22-7 over Canada. But that's a big call if that is the case. I will have to look that up and make sure that that is correct. Very big from Matt Shaw. Now that will bring up his 50 as well. 52 off 32 deliveries. So they will regret dropping him just before for that matchup as well. But very nicely done by Matt Short. Very, very well put together 50. Yes, he had a couple chances early on that he could have been out, but then from there he's just rebuilt himself as well. It's a very, very nice shot from Matt Short. Puts the 50, puts the bat up in the air. Says thanks very much for coming. Right, we will have a quick look through the men information. A nice 50 as well. Says BAL. Right, we will have a look through. Okay, it still says the USA games are taking place on my app, so I'll have to check probably Instagram, see whether or not that is the case. But we will actually check it at halftime. See it, and also we've got that double half century. Unlucky Tassie as well. I would like to use the short ball tactic. Or I would try to use the short ball tactic and put 2 men on the league side. Try to get a wicket as well, says Brank. And also, there's a really good partnership, says BAL. Yeah, at the moment, it's sitting very nicely for themselves. One moment, we'll go like this. We'll go to Rugby Sevens. I assume that they would have announced it on the Rugby Sevens or World Rugby Sevens, I assume. And also, it's going to be well bowled in the end. And that is just going to be, once again, sure looks like he's got a little bit of a limp there, but I think it just smacked him hard in the pad. And also, we've got there Dian Ishwa. Hopefully, I pronounced it correctly. Yes, he wicketed as well in there. We're currently 16 runs off the last 11 balls. So this has probably been the slowest little patch in the whole match up here for the Adelaide Strikers. But Riley Meredith, he's going to be steaming in again. Always does. He's got one more over left. He's already gone for over 30 runs at this point in time as well. Currently now 57 off 38. They need the wicket of Alex Carey if they do want a good chance. And they also need the wicket of Short as well. It'll be... that's an interesting one to not be called a wide, but we will take it if you are a Hobart Hurricanes supporter, I guess. And that is going to be the end of the over. And it's going to be 113 for none. We have got the Australia Sevens and Germany Sevens is playing at 12 a.m. As I says Brandon there. So we'll have to check this one out, won't I? See whether or not the World Rugby side of it, whether we have had any cancellation games. It doesn't look like they've said anything about it overall. I guess, did they say it on the actual live stream, Brandon, of the match, possibly? And also think India are going to win the second ODI, they when toss chose to bat first as well. You know what I mean? We know scoreboard pressure is a beautiful thing in the game of cricket. I decided to store my large dinner large pizza and ice cream from Crust Lisa. Or Lisa. Is that Lisa? Yeah, that is Lisa, isn't it? That's going to be a big old shot. But has he got enough of it? Just in the gap once again. And the luck is certainly on the side here of the Adelaide Strikers. And also, are they this? As on there says Brandon. So, we'll have to make sure that I do know what is going on. Although I don't actually have any games of the USA that I was covering today. So I guess that is one benefit for myself. And also we have that what would the world do if England hadn't invented all these sports as well, says BAL. That's a good question. What other sports? What's the sport that someone from a different country did? Or not Lisa Pizza, I mean, as well. And there says it was from Xavier. Also, crust pizza. As well. I haven't actually heard of crust pizza. It sounds like it would be decent enough place. I feel like I want to try more pizza from around the world. That is going to be nicely done. Once again, by Short, they called for 2 straight away. I don't know whether or not. Yeah, they do get back quite comfortably. In fact, AFL is a beast as well. And then there says Xavier Brown. But currently the run rate is sitting at 9.36. As soon as the power surge has been over, they've been able to ramp up that run rate just a little bit more for the Adelaide Strikers. But currently 12.3 overs down. They're still going at a very good run rate, like I mentioned. Dragged down. Matt Short tries to swing through all of that one. It's a long boundary. What a catch. No. He's gone down onto the rope there from Parker. And unfortunately for him, I believe this is going to be 6. But it was an absolute screaming take there from Parker. Like they're saying, nearly catch of the season, but the momentum might have just tipped him. Oh, that's the best non-catch that we're going to see this year for the BBL. Unfortunately, it's going to count as 6, I believe. Will it be 4? It might actually be 4. Because he hit the ground and then he slid into it. So I think it's actually 4, sorry. By the way, and also we've got there, I bet McDermott is tired of chasing 200 plus as well. And there's Sebastian. And also we have got there, what an almost catch as well. And Hamish, is this the BBL final or not? How many matches remaining for the final? So we have still got another 4 finals that will be taking place. The game tomorrow night is a first versus second. And whoever wins that makes their way through to the final. Then there's a playoff with the winner of this game up against the Sydney Thunder. Then the winner of that game will face the loser of the Scorchers versus Sixers. And whoever wins that is going to be getting themselves in the position of, was his arm down? This is going to be a very tough decision. And Sports with Neta said hello as well. Welcome in to the live stream, man. And also we have got there still no wicket, says no, I'm exactly right. I think it's 4. I think it will be counted as 4 there. against Darcy Shaw. And yep, All Modern Sport is from the UK as well. And this says David Lamont and also All Black Sevens and Germany Sevens because they're not going to do a game on Rugby Challenge 4. As I says Brandon there. Oh, it's called as 6. And Alex Carey, he is just asking the question. He is actually the batsman at the non-strikers end, and he is wondering why it is called as a 6. And Matthew Wade is asking the same thing because he did land in the field of play. Landed in the field of play, slid over as well. Alex Carey is actually asking the same question here. And like they're saying, they think that it's a 4. And also this is the final of the Hurricanes 1. Oh, this is the final of the Hurricanes 1. And then also the luck is with Adelaide today. Not much you can do about it. And also Holmesborough can second 200 plus game for the Hurricanes back-to-back matches. It could be as by 169. It's very wide. That is going to be called as the wide as well. So this was very unfortunate for the youngster Parker. Jeez, that was close. So they've considered that one as a 6. And I believe the only reasoning behind that would be maybe, even though his elbow's on the ground, the ball has never touched inside of the field of play. It's a misfield there from Thompson. And they will get an extra run like we mentioned earlier on. The luck seems to be in favour of the Adelaide Strikers, and it is costing the Hobart Hurricanes a lot of runs in the field. And great effort as us as Sports with Net. And also we have got there one of the fixtures of All Blacks International Rugby. Any matches are there coming up as well. So they haven't actually got any games up until about July for the All Blacks. But Super Rugby's coming up very soon, which we have got a lot of players from the All Blacks side that will be taking part. So I think because the ball has not touched the ground is why it is going to be in that situation of the 6 runs rather than the 4. And yep, that's right thinking as well. And I could bowl that wide. And there's his BAL. Currently, the run rate is going to be sitting there for 58 off 40. For Alex Carey, the run rate of 9.85. And also come on strikers, as I said, Sports with Net. And also we have got there a little bit earlier on about the golf side of it. As I did see it well because Scotland invented golf. As I'll give you the UK as I'm there. So the Scottish, they do love a bit of golf. Like they're saying, it's an absolutely brilliant effort, but unfortunately, just ends up not being able to throw that ball away quick enough. My prediction is 199, still possible. Let's see as well. Says Michelle, yeah, at the moment you are looking the closest out of anyone, I would say. So I think because the ball hasn't actually touched the ground in the field of play, that is why it is considered as the 6. The run rate at the moment, they are ticking over at just under 10. Parker going to be bowling once again. It's a big old full toss from the spinner down the ground, and they do just get the one. Caleb Jewell out to work hard to cut that one off. Short, he's sitting there on 50, or sorry, he's sitting on 66 off 38. So that question of who would I rather get out, feel like Matt Short is the one who's coming to mind now. And geez, what is wrong with the Hurricanes bowling lately as well? And he says Frank and Hobart's season is done. I'll head back to Tassie in the break. And also the Scots like golf clubs as well, that's for sure. Are not necessarily for hitting golf balls. Says that Sebastian is going to be hit to the leg side once again. And just another single. But Travis here, he is shaking his leg at the moment. He is doing what I do. And that is shaking my leg. You can't really see it too much, but I'm currently doing it at the moment. And he is rearing to go, getting back out there for the BBL. Definitely if they do win this game. Oh, shot down the ground from Alex Carey. Pierces the field once again. Another 4 runs. Currently, the Hobart Hurricanes, they have a 20% chance of winning this game. And when I was there, I once bowled a ball so straight, everyone gasped as well, showing the other 11. Whereas wide as a canal gate. As I says BAL there. And also, we have got there, what did you do to the Hurricanes? As I says Robert to David. Also, we have got there, leg jitters. So I says a bye muncher. Currently now, Parker. Leg siders trying to hit that one hard. Alex Carey not quite able to get onto it. In all seriousness, my favourite melee weapon in the old GTA games was the golf club as well. And there's Sebastian. And yeah, have you played the remastered series, Sebastian, since it did come out? I know that I have not bought it, and I haven't got it. I have got it downloaded. I haven't actually played any of them, though. So are they any good? Because I know they had a lot of glitches early on. Oh, Short tries to go bang here. Has he got enough of it? Yes, he sure does. And that is going to be another 6 runs for the Adelaide Strikers. They move up to 141 runs now off their 13.5. McDermott he's got his hands on his hips going, what am I going to have to do with the bat here to be able to get us through to the next stage? I mean, I did mention about buying my mum the Melbourne Stars kit and the cap, as I did actually throw on a hat for my uncle with the Hobart Hurricanes. Hopefully he doesn't send it back for the refund after this performance from the Hobart Hurricanes. And also we have got the GTA 5. I do indeed. Down the ground once again from short. They thought about the single, not quite able to get it though. And that will end at the 14th over, 141 for none here for the Adelaide Strikers now. This is ramping up big time. And also we have got there Kirsten. Hello, I know as well. And there says David the Mod. And also I have GTA 3 remastered, and it's just a little bit shinier, but hasn't aged well. So it says BAL. Yeah, that's the thing. I know that a lot of people want to see GTA 6, but the problem is with that game is going to be, like, they won't be able to have anything too offensive in it, which is very tough to do for a GTA series. Also, I played those games way too much for me. I had to buy an unsuccessful remastered version as well. Sebastian, see, the only one out of those three that I played was Vice City, and I was a bus driver just all the time, which I know sounds pretty sad, but yeah, I just love driving the buses. It was like, right, we'll take people from A to B. We get $5 a crack for that one as well. And that was pretty much all I did in that game, was literally just drive buses, which I feel like is the opposite of what a lot of children did on that game. Overall, but Kerry, he's sitting there 63 of 43 deliveries, short sitting 73 of 41 deliveries, and also we go there, let's go, says LJ there as well. At the moment now, Scotty Boland charging in. It's a little bit leg sidish, nicely whipped away by Alex Geary in the deep. Oh, it's a misfield from Riley Meredith. And another 4 runs for the Adelaide Strikers. Riley Meredith, Scott Boland, Tom Rogers, all of the bowlers just blowing this at the moment. And every time, that should have only been a 1. But it went straight through him. He slid too far, and that is going to be another 4 runs. Otherwise, let's go now as well. And there says LJ. It's just not well done. Once again, I went clubbing and clubbing at the clubs and with the golf club as well. And there says Sebastian, and yeah, it's all politically correct nonsense these days as well. You probably have to play GTA 6 too. So it says BAL. Oh, it's a shot from Gary. It's gone out into the outfield, though. Surely this is taken. Jordan Thompson takes the catch. And Alex Carey now gone 67 off 45, the first wicket of the day now. And it was Scotty Boland who was able to pick up his fellow Ashes teammate. And Alex Carey, we've got the, I like how you don't just have a car in GTA. You can just chuck the person out of the car and start driving as well, says Frank. Just like real, well, not really, not really like real life, of course. It doesn't quite work that way. In the real world, is $11 expensive for an ice cream tub, in your opinion? Are we talking Ben and Jerry's here, Xavier, or are we talking something else? I know the $11, depending on the size of it, I think you can get like a tub of ice cream here, like a 2-liter tub for like maybe $8, something like that, maybe even a little bit cheaper. So the Ben and Jerry's, I guess you kind of get what you pay for in regards of it. It's very nice ice cream that you can have. But Travis Head now making his way out to the crease. So they decided to send him in ahead of the other man who they could have brought out, which was Cobain. And the reason for that, I think, is just to give him a little bit of a bat here before we get into the next games as well. The strange part is that I wouldn't mind that one bit as well. And then says Sebastian. Oh, no, so we got the nice catch. But even nicer run rate there. Says that BAL, yeah, currently still going at over 10 runs per over, and we're up to 14.2 overs down in this matchup. So certainly accelerating here for the Adelaide Strikers. And Travis Head, I mean, that's the thing. We've seen him play test match cricket, and he doesn't play test match cricket like a test match cricket batsman. I guess he does keep on accelerating. He's going to be up against Scotty Boland here if he does get a little bit of a chance. But for now, Matt Short will be on strike partnership broken as well. And Connoisseur ice cream as well, says Xavier around there. Also, I haven't had Connoisseur ice cream. It sounds fancy, though. So I guess that might be why it's $11. Maybe you pay for the name rather than the ice cream, like Apple for their phones. You know, being nicely whipped down the ground for just the single. Yes, it is going to be the single. So now we get to see Travis Head versus Scotty Boland. And that is one that everyone will be looking forward to. And also, we have got the Cricket 22 update 1.16 rolled out for fixes 11th of January. Big Ant Studios released the latest Cricket 22 update today. And it's a small download as well. The Cricket 22 update 1.616 patch is live now. So is that on the January 11th or January 21st? Robert, do let me know. But currently now, Scotty Boland has been bowling very well. And Apple is not a fancy name as well, Xavier. Or it's more you pay for the Apple logo that you do pay for. Like this phone case at the time, because I didn't want to have my phone without a phone case. This phone case, it's about as basic as it gets. It's literally thin. Dropping my phone with this case on would be would be devastating, of course. But at the time, it seemed like I wanted to have some sort of phone case, and we did get it online. So that phone case for the Apple logo was $160, which I really regret buying. But when you're spending about $1,000 and a bit on the phone, yeah, I just didn't want to drop it early on. But yeah, you do pay for the Apple logo as well as the product, I guess you could say. And also, I bet you love Tomb Raider and played Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well. He loves himself Assassin's Creed, that is for sure. I caught a nice rainbow trout this evening, 4-pounder. Hopefully tomorrow my missus doesn't give it away as well, says David the Mod. Shot once again from short, but it is fielded well by Caleb Jewell. So at the moment, it's actually the batsmen who are fielding better than the bowlers, which kind of doesn't really surprise me hugely. Oh, Wellington Phoenix scored another goal against Western United. They're 2-0 up. At the moment, I played as Cassandra on Odyssey because she's the cannon choice as well. No defense for the Laura Croft part, though. You could get breast milk ice cream in London a few years ago. It cost a fortune talking about milk in it. So it says BAL. And also 160. I paid 50 for mine. As good as I have not. I have dropped my phone and it hasn't cracked as well. It says Xavier. Yeah, I got ripped off big time for that phone case. That is for sure. But yeah, I did end up swapping it out for a new one with the flip lid. As over that is going to be 15 overs down, 149 for one here for the Adelaide Strikers. And also we got there. I played as Alexios because some of the quests were funny as well. Says BAL. So you can play as multiple people on Assassin's Creed. That shows my Assassin's Creed knowledge. I need to do an Assassin's Creed Let's Play on the Kiwi Lads Gaming, how we just literally chill out for hours on end, just playing random games. That was a good shot from Matt Short. They're showing he's up to 75 runs so far of 43 deliveries. 15 overs. They are currently just ticking over in the runs as well. Have you finished the game, BAL? And there's C. Sebastian. Currently now we have got the 11th. Is out now, Kiwi Lads are, but it's off Big Ant's website as well. Okay, so it did take, I guess, a little bit longer to get onto the consoles. And then before, I know that Rugby 22 is coming out in only about 8 days' time, though it might be a bit of a letdown from what I have heard so far. Currently now going to be hit down the ground once again. And that is just going to be the single. Once again, taking a new fun pay for Hamish overpriced phone cases, says Xavier Brown. I mean, I did appreciate that, Xavier. That phone case certainly was overpriced. That's the thing. I actually bought about 4 iPhone X cases for $1 each earlier on this month. I don't know why. Seemed like a good idea at the time. So if anyone has an iPhone X, do let me know. Yeah, because I did end up buying quite a few of them as well. And also we've got the Still Playing It, to be honest, as us as BL. And also there's a quest where Alexios shot ended up killing a man's mother. And Shades is, that's an interesting one. That's a big hit, though, from Matt Short. It's the biggest of the night, and that is now moving him up into the 80s for himself now. So getting closer and closer towards that 200 mark now for the Adelaide Strikers. And the Hobart Hurricanes just don't seem to have an answer to what to do. It's just straight in the slot, half volley length, and Matt Short says, yep, that one will do. I'll hit it right up down the ground, probably about 90 metres there for Matt Short. Straight back over the bowler's head. Very nicely done. Run rate up to 10.17. This is going to be a chase and a half for the Hobart Hurricanes if they can get the job done at the moment. They've got an 18% chance of being able to go on and win this game. So we've got the 8 runs off my predictions. This is BAL. 2 runs off mine. Who would have thought it, eh? And also a good analogy of that phone case is like buying a brand new Bentley and then parking outside the apartment where you live at as well. It's another big shot. Another 6 from Matt Short. He is now sitting on 87. That was a sitter from Tom Rogers. I'm thinking back to it. He would have been gone on about 15 runs. And now he's moved up nicely onto 87 of 45. He's hit 6 sixes so far as well. But yeah, I guess that is the case with the Bentley leaving it out in the rain. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Wasn't the best phone case to be able to get. And also Russia, France, and USA women all have won their game so far. Hamish as well says Aiden. Now, Aiden, I will ask you the question because Brandon mentioned it early on. Have the USA men's side tested positive, which now means that they can't play? Is that the case, or was that just something that he did end up saying? Can you please let me know, Aiden, if you don't mind? And also, I remember a request in which Cassandra to help out a man save his marriage by spending the night with his wife as well and spending the night together. They did. I love Assassin's Creed, says Sebastian. Once again, it's gone up in the air. This one should be taken. No, it falls safe. Once again, and also have you had a pie floating in a bowl of pea soup as well. Never try. Yeah, have you ever had a pie floating in a bowl of pea soup? No, I have not. Does not sound too nice, though. And I'll say, yeah, that is the case. Unfortunately, they keep bringing it up as well, says Aiden. So they are missing it. Is there any other side that are missing, Aiden? Do let me know. That's gone straight up in the air now. Who has got this one? McDermott. He does take it, and now Short's going to be gone for 89 here. And also, you have got there, if you want to support the Kings, that are the Kiwi lads, you can buy a membership as little as $5 a month, and all the money from the membership goes into making videos better, and you get prioritized answers in a live chat, and you get custom emojis like this as well, says Xavier Brown. You do indeed. It's going to be the second wicket match. Shorty didn't know where it went. It went straight up in the air, though. And that is going to be McDermott able to take the catch. A much-needed wicket. And Travis Head is going to be out of the crease now with, I believe that's Cobain, who can also hit a long ball in the last match, hitting himself. About a strike rate of 150, just New Zealand and Fiji. What about Samoa as well, Aiden? Is Samoa also out? And they were replaced by Jamaica, I think it was, or Germany. One of those two, I think, is the other one that are missing. So that's a big call for the USA, because that means that they are not going to be playing in any of their games coming up. So we're going to have less and less sides in that kind of sevens tournament. As well, one moment, we will go here. So the USA, they were supposed to be playing a game against Jamaica at 7:05 a.m., which is no longer going to be able to take place. Also, they were supposed to have a game up against Spain, which will no longer be taking place as well. And then the other game for the USA was up against Argentina, but that will now not be taking place either. And oh yeah, and Samoa's Ireland versus Spain. Women is up next. There's 8 in there. But currently, I guess Russia were expected to win that game, although it was relatively close in that one. And then also the other couple, I think you did mention one moment. We will go back up for it. Russia, France, and USA. I think all of them were the favourites for their matchups, if I'm not wrong. Now, Rogers, he's gone for 24 runs so far. Trevor said he's sitting on 3 off 3. Hardly had any strikes so far. Tries the cut shot, misses out on that one. Or Travis said, strike rate versus pace. Anytime that it is that good length is actually when he struggles the most. And here comes Koich, as it would be saying for that one. But of course, it is Cobain for this one. I did actually say his name well and truly wrong the first time that I was doing the commentary for it. But yeah, they've lost a lot of sides in the last little while. And also, I got $10 on Ireland to beat the Spanish girls. As on there says, it was there from Aiden. It's going to be nicely hit down the ground. And that is going to be nicely done. How much is the return on that one, Aiden? Do let me know. And now, currently, Cobain, they are going to be trying to keep ticking over. Is that the massive sun? No, it's the lights in the background. I was wondering what that was. A nice save, Amish, as well. And there says BAL. Yeah, I certainly wasn't saving it the first time, though. I did end up, it was actually my mum was sitting next to me for the game that we were watching, and she had to correct me on how to say it, which is always a fun one for yourself. Nice bonding moment. Cobain will be on strike here. Rogers, he had an expensive burst over $10 as well. Also, it's 10 for 10 in that regard. He did go for 18 from there. He's gone for 7 runs off the next 8 balls that he has bowled. It's a short ball once again outside of the off stump, and it is going to be once again another dot for Tom Rogers. That'll be yawn for myself. But yeah, it is a shame that we're losing so many sides out of the 7. Oh yeah, I saw that. As I says BAL. Because like you've lost Fiji, who are the gold medalists. You've lost New Zealand, who were the silver medalists at the Tokyo Olympics. And mothers are always right. I mean, as I said, Sebastian, they are indeed. You got to trust the mothers. Or trust your own mother, I should say, as well, rather than other people's mothers. Well, you probably could trust other people's mothers as well, I'd like to think. And now out to deep mid-wicket. Once again, just a single for them. But they're still ticking over around that kind of 10 runs and over throughout this whole one. It's going to be a big innings for McDermott, big innings from Wade, big innings from Short, Hanscom, Jewell, Tim David. He's going to have to save it at the end. Ukraine, Russia might be too busy invading the Ukraine to play as well. And he says, David the Motzi, I don't really know much about the world news at the moment. Is there something going on there, David, between those two countries? Although they're supposed to go all right in the kind of 7th side of it, Russia. It's a good pitched up delivery, good shot down the ground from Travis Head, just the single. And only the 3 runs so far off this Rogers overs. This is a crucial one. What was my prediction as well, says Nov Mum? Your prediction, Nov Mum, was 175. And I think that was actually one of the higher ones that we have had from people as well. New Zealand is trying to evade Australia as well, only to steal your mangoes. because I do really enjoy mangoes. And if I did go to Australia, first thing I would do is go to the local grocery shop and get myself a mango as well. But currently now, Rogers' final ball of the over is kind of swatted away by Cobain. They will get themselves a single, and that will close out an incredibly good over from Tom Rogers. Only the 4 runs off it and 168 for 2 after 17 overs. If they can somehow win this game, the Hobart Hurricanes, it would be absolutely exceptional. Or might end up over that, as Arnes says, number just a little bit perhaps in this one. And also we've got there, maybe that's how they should decide the fate of Ukraine. A good old match as well, says BAL. Could be worth a crack. I never had a mango. And he says, Xavier Brown, be sure to get yourself a mango, mate. It is very nice, depending on whether or not they're in season as well. Like, the reason I would go to Australia, yes, I get to watch some sport and whatnot, but also they have mangoes. I feel like that is a big deciding factor. But then, like, from here, we don't have the same mangoes. We get Peruvian mangoes where I'm from rather than the Australian ones. I think up north more you get the Australian mangoes. As the rest, if the rest is one, 3 of my guests, as on there says LJ. Short ball, awkward shot from Cobain, but he does get the single once again, still ticking it over. Okay, Matt Short saying it's a little bit slower. 180, 190 from here. He said that he will be pretty happy with for the stage. I mean, 190 is probably minimum from here, to be fair for them as well. And also, we've got the now, mate, the Russians will cheat. I like they always do as well. And go to Fijian mangoes. And they're not necessarily Katie Price as a mum as well. I wouldn't trust her. And there says Sebastian, Katie Price. Is that a sports person? I don't know. No, maybe not. That's going to be up in the air. It's taken. And Travis said he's going to be gone. Peter Hanscom gives a little fist bump to the people behind him. As Travis said, he is going to be gone. 5 runs off 7 deliveries now. Mango chutney on a chicken tikka masala is heaven as well. And there. And also we've got the Meghan Markle as a mum too. And I'd rather trust a dingo. And there says BAL. Meghan Markle. She, Prince Harry's wife, maybe? Is that her? And also, do you know Abby Holmes as well? I know Abby Brown. She plays sevens. But I'm not sure of Abby Holmes. I feel like I'm very uncultured, aren't I? In that regard of knowing who people are. And also, I hope you have a good day. Hopefully, you do as well, mate. At the moment, the Adelaide Strikers, they are sitting in a good position to be able to go on and win this game, even with that wicket falling. And it is Matty Renshaw now, who is making his way to the crease. Cobain also out there, I suppose, intercourse as a sport as well. Then she's a sports person. Okay. Okay, I see. Right. So that answers that question, I guess. And there we go. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, would you say that the Hobart Hurricanes have got more or less than a 23% chance of being able to go on and win this game? Because that is currently what the live odds have them as, 23% chance. Currently sitting 169 for the Strikers. The last wicket was Travis. He had a couple big overs. Following Riley Meredith, though, able to pick up that previous wicket. He's gone for 35 of his 3.2. It's a good length. And once again, that is going to be the dot ball. Nicely done by Riley Meredith. I believe that one would have been about 148. A horror character who made her money by in front of the Daily Sport as well. And this is BAL. And also we got their wicket as well, says LJ. See, I've never heard of Katie Price. I thought she might have been a sports person. Like I said earlier on. But Cobain at the moment sitting there 3 runs off 5 deliveries. This has slowed down quite a bit for themselves and LJSM wicket as well. Though you are just a little bit too far ahead perhaps, but now Riley Meredith charges in. It's a short ball. It's going to be pulled out, and that is going to be the wicket. Falling there as well. How much would you tell us your address for $1 million as well, says Xavier? I've already told a couple of you my address in the past, so I guess so. Depending on who it is that I'm telling, though. I think it's also, yeah, she does have sports connections. The thing is, I could tell you my address, and for $1 million, I could just move. You know? Strategic. And also, I will be going over to New Zealand, and summer, winter is way too cold. So even summer's probably too cold for some guys. She was called Jordan when she was making her name as well. And also, they're telling us right now, and there says Xavier Brown, I haven't got the million yet, though. I think it's the difference. And also we've got there, have you heard of Peter Andre as well? He used to be married to Peter Andre. Is he a footballer? Sebastian, or tennis? Tennis or football are my two predictions for that one. Peter Andre, he's a footballer? Kicks the ball around, maybe. And also don't forget to get the money first though, Hamish, as well. And they're exactly right. To get the moolah, a singer as well. Peter Andre. I don't know a lot, do I? Overall. But that's where you guys come in. You guys have taught me a lot over my short amount of time on the YouTube. Peter Andre is a prop who played for the London Irish as well. It's a prop who played for Peter Andre. Is it? Peter with the two T's. And be nicely whipped off the pads there once again by Matty Renshaw. And both men at the crease at the moment are sitting there 0 of 0. And I got to within 15 feet of her when they were in my hometown a couple of years back as well. And an absolute narcissist, but drop dead gorgeous as well. And there it says David the Mod, and also she's married an MMA boxer too. His BAL. I see. Which MMA boxer? Do let me know, BAL. I might actually have a chance of knowing that one. Currently, Matty Renshaw. He has been able to get himself on the mark. AOL, I can't believe it. We're winning the soccer. Let's go as well. Yeah, they're winning 2-0 at the moment, the Wellington Phoenix, which is something that not too many people would have been expecting for that game at halftime. And also, he was a mysterious singing Mysterious Girl. Oh, is that song? I know that song, I think. Just back at dinner. Just at dinner. And they're from more cake. But now Meredith, he's taken 2 wickets so far in his final over that he will be able to bowl. Going to be nicely whipped by John Wells once again. And that will close out another very good over for the Hobart Hurricanes. Only the 3 runs off and also taking the 2 wickets. Also, we got Alex Reid, I think, as well, says BAL. Okay, I do not know Alex Reid, unfortunately. And also the Mexican with a goal as well. And there says Music Kiwi. And Legend says that she was the toughest opponent he had knocked as well. And there's Sebastian. Peter Hanscom, he was happy with that one. Also the wicket falling Cobain very shortly after, taken by Darcy Short in the deep. And currently the Hobart Hurricanes, we're in a weird stalemate at the moment. They've still got a run rate of 9.5, but I would be saying from here, if they lose any more wickets and don't score another 10 runs off the last couple overs, maybe it would be a decent one. What do the song Ice Ice Baby and Under Pressure have in common? Is that they're sung by Vanilla Ice? Novmum? Maybe she married Conor McGregor as well in there. Says Xavier Brown, and also we got their 2 overs left, says LJ, and also Hamish GC. I guess the 180, so I'm close. So I said, right, you're getting close indeed. Although I'm now John Wells charging down the wicket, misses the ball, and that is going to be another die. How do you feel about doing the boxing thing? You reckon you got the pools? You got the pools on your mind? As there says Music Kiwi. Now, I'm not too keen on boxing overall. I feel like I mentioned it earlier on. If I was ever in a fight and I had to hit someone, like for a start, I probably wouldn't be able to convince myself to hit them. And that's bad because that's literally what a fight is. But if I did hit them, I'd probably end up apologizing and asking if they're all right afterwards, which doesn't really work too well in a fighting circumstance. Ice Baby stole the riff from Under Pressure. I see. And also we have got their Hurricanes have done well to restrict this total to under 200 as well. Exactly right. And I said 189, says LJ. You did indeed. So it is getting relatively close to that mark as well. Also, she also knocked around with Ashley Cole too. But they signed the weirdest looking, or they said the weirdest looking kid ever. And then also, is this a final or a normal match? It is part of the final. Whoever loses this is out. And then whoever is going to be winning this one goes on to face the Thunder, which is not the final still. They've still got a couple more coming up. Going to be popping off the surface nicely for Scotty Boland. They take the single. And also we get their final, as I says, Robert. So yeah, it is the elimination final. Last 27 balls, they've had 32 runs, 4 wickets fallen. It's changed big time in the Hobart Hurricanes now. Just trying to take a little bit of the momentum back. And at this matchup as well, like they're saying, there's one player who can go through and get himself a big score, and that would be McDermott, maybe even Wade, if he does want it. But currently, it is sitting pretty nicely for the Adelaide Strikers. They've got the points on the board, which is a huge benefit in this circumstance as well. Scott Boland buys the short ball. Johnny Wells not quite able to get onto that one again. Also, either said means having a baby as well. I don't think I've ever heard that word before. Did the Heat make it as well? No, they did not. Unfortunately, they did miss out there for the Brisbane Heat. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard the word seared before, other than when we're talking about like a steak. Because I know that you sear a steak, but I assume it's a little bit different to searing a child, I would assume. Also, we have the analysis from Novmum era. As on there, and are you doing some rugby sevens live stream after this one? We are indeed. It's going to be hit nicely, and that is going to be 4 runs for Matty Renshaw, and Trump isn't tough enough. As well, just show up with hair clippers in your hand and he'll run away. As well, it also got Demo Heat. And then also, who would win it if it was Big Ass Sport versus you? Big Ass Sport 100%. Mainly for the same reason that I just said. I wouldn't be able to punch someone without apologizing. And then from there, I can imagine if I said before the matchup something like, oh, the Wallabies aren't that good, he would just enter rage mode. As on, it's usually reverse for livestock with Katie Price. It's just a piece of meat anyway. As well as his BL, and also let's go. There's LJ, nice shot down the ground from Renshaw once again. And that is going to be the end of the Bolland over. They get themselves another single, only the 8 off it. And now it is sitting 179 for 4 off the 19. Just 1 over to go now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the next stage of this match as well. It's going to be an exciting one, I think, for these two sides in the second innings, because at the end of the day, they're just ramping themselves up very nicely, the Adelaide Strikers. I was like, let's go, says LJ. Anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I believe at this point in time, it's going to be Rogers bowling the last over, which is a very good choice to be able to have there as well. We have, okay, no more runs, please. Just get wickets, as I says Novmum there. So just wickets, 10 wickets in a row. Oh, sorry, not 10, 6 wickets in a row. Will be working very nicely for the bats. I mean, that's going to be one of them. That's in the air. That's going to be taken. So that is 1 wicket, Novmum. So that is going to be helpful towards your total. Like they're saying, the runs have dried up at the moment. The wickets are falling thick and fast here. And oh, by the way, Rufer actually got an assist. He actually decided to do something instead of waving his arms around telling the Phoenix what to do. As my mate's middle name is Bastian. As what a weird name. Well, I guess it depends what region is he from, Xavier. Where are his kind of ancestors from? Because Bastian kind of reminds me of, I guess, European, somewhere around there, maybe Northern Europe. Bastian. Swedish? No, maybe not Swedish. Matty Renshaw, he has gone 7 runs off 5 deliveries there for his Can't Party this weekend as well. And this is Amy Spencer. I mean, I am certainly going to be sitting here pretty much every single hour of every single day of this weekend doing live streams. And then also my bed will be the other most popular place where I will just be sitting, or probably not sitting, to be honest. I'll be lying down so close to my guests as well, says LJ there. And then I'll say it's Aussie, as Bastian is German usually, like Bastian Schweinsteiger, as on there, says Sebastian. And also we have got there Sebastian, or sorry, Bastian is the name of the main character in the Never End Story in 189, I guess, says LJ. So we are getting a little bit closer to that mark as well. But now Roger's going to be steaming in again for the Hobart Hurricanes. Gordon bowled almost on the cards. Hasn't quite been able to get that one, and they will be coming back for the 2 runs. And they do get there relatively confidently. John O'Well's still going to be on strike. How you feel about New Zealand and Aussie first up in the Cricket World Cup 2022? So I says Music Kiwi. I hadn't actually seen the draw as of yet, but if that is the case, it's going to be a pretty awesome one. See a rematch of the final. Is that for the women's or the men's Music Kiwi? Do let me know. And so just putting that one down, Tom Rogers. Not quite able to take it cleanly, but currently the run rate is 9.36. Not too bad for the Hobart Hurricanes overall. From where they were as well, that's going to be nicely whipped off the pad. So into the deep. Last thing they want is a misfield. He's done nicely, Thompson. He's actually been one of the standouts in the field so far today. And also, we have got, I guess, they get what they get as well. And there says Xavier Brown. And also, we have got there the men, says Robert. And also, normally I get so nervous when it gets up to the finals, I don't watch it. But I've given it a go, says Frank. Yeah, I feel like for myself being from New Zealand, it does mean it's quite nice because I don't get too invested in either side, I guess you could say. And the opening partnership was so brilliant. The rest have been equally woeful as well. Here's Sebastian. Slow ball once again, nicely played. Out to the man. And that is going to be just the single once again. Too early to worry about the T20 World Cup already as first game for New Zealand, not the comp. As on there says Music Kiwi. And also we got not out of the whole tournament just for New Zealand though, and it's the men's. And then what's going to go party on Saturday night? It was me mate's 20th, but I'm working Sunday morning. Ooh. So yeah, that would be one that you probably don't want to be intoxicated or still recovering from intoxication after when you do have to drive lawnmowers and whatnot. Absolutely rigged. As on there says Irish Spencer, but now it is going to be Hobart Once again, short ball's gone straight up in the air from Kelly. I believe that's going to be McDermott. He has taken it, and Kelly goes out for the golden duck as I'm matching the cap of McDermott as well. And also we have got who was the other batter that got over 50. So it was Matt Shaw and also Alex Carey as the two who were able to tick themselves over very nicely. Almost towards the century as well for Matt Shaw. Ended up getting 89 or 48. He was dropped on about 10. And then from there, he kept on going, I'm going to sue my boss. And so I'm there. There's Amy Spencer. I mean, you could just take a day off. You could end up like taking leave. I guess if you got any leave, do you get leave for a groundsman? I guess you probably don't really get a choice in terms of what days you get off. As when it's raining, you probably get more time off. And now currently it is going to be the Adelaide Strikers. 1 ball left. Will be Wells on strike, sitting on 8 runs of 7 deliveries. There's 1 run off as well, says LJ. And also we've got the any time or any other time that would count as a collapse as well. And this is BL. And also we've got they take him to high court. No, I won't. As I says Hamish Spencer. But now the final ball, John Wells. Sitting here, Thomas Kelly, the last man to lose this wicket. He's ramped it. He has got it right. And that is going to be gone for the 4 runs once again. So that will close out the innings for them as well. And that is going to be 188 for 6 there. And I want to save my leave. As I also, Hamish, you should get a part-time job, maybe a job at McDonald's and get the chicken nuggets cheap. Then just leave as well, says Xavier Brown. I'm sure they wouldn't be too keen on that idea overall. And I want the Sydney Thunder to win the BBL final as well. 188 is great total. No thanks to Travis Head. And so what we will do is we will go up to the predictions. And I believe LJ will be the man who does get himself the most points in this circumstance here. We will go here. We will go to the point system. Tell you what, we've only got a few more games that you can get yourself points for, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to get on those predictions for the next one. So it's LJH 1145 as he is able to get himself the first place for this one. Second closest, I'd say that it's going to be close to, Robert said 180. So I think he is going to be the next closest for this 181 moment. We will go here. And Robert gets himself the 180 prediction. And then there was also someone who said close to 200, wasn't there? If I'm not wrong. Vishal said 199, so he has 11 off. But then we have got there 179, which is the next closest. And that is going to be Kai Broom. There we go. Why does Kai change it to it for the kind of correction? Interesting, but that is going to be that one done as well. So be sure to get in those predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I almost called you, but ladies and gentlemen, for this one, that is for sure. Apparently, it will be very interesting. See how it does end up going, and also Hurricanes will get 300 as well. And then, so I guess what I should show is that clip of me having my Xbox blow up, I guess, because I did mention about it for that I would show it at the halftime break. I always regret it because it's quite a funny clip because I just absolutely jumped out of my skin, but it will be up on the screen and then we will be back in about 20 seconds time. But yeah, this is when my Xbox decided that it didn't like me.
Will you get the remastered series?
Yeah, if it comes out on the Xbox, then it's all good. Yeah, I will. Yeah. Yeah. I was a big fan of GTA Vice City.
Something just happened. My Xbox just had a spark come out the top. There
you go. That is a clip. And I'm a Brental man. And there is also we've got how many points total do I have, says Nov Mum. I haven't actually added them all up just at this point in time because I do want it to be a nice surprise for the final. And Adelaide will win with 14 runs as well. And yeah, so we will go like that. And we will go like that. Hurricanes will get 300. That is Amish's prediction. We'll start that one. Also, we have got there, so I'd say 188 for 6. As I says Music Kiwi. And also, we've got their bloody order my dinner 50 minutes ago. As I'll still have to wait another 20 minutes. I'm starting starving as well. Hurricanes to win with 8 balls left. And also, I have like 3 points. It's so scary. I jumped out of my seat as well. And there says Hamish Spencer, yes, it was a very traumatizing moment in my life. That's why I'm a PlayStation man as well, says BAL there. I was Adelaide Strikers will probably win by 10 to 20 runs. Have you got an exact score for yourself, Las Vegas Raiders fan forever? Do let me know. But currently, I would say, I'm going to go 178. Is how many runs the Hobart Hurricanes will be able to get. I think they'll get close, but they won't quite get over the line. But I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game, though. And you just have George sitting there and not knowing what's going on. Pretty much, yeah. George, it's normally like that anyway at times for George, but he wasn't minded too much. He was just loving it. in that regard of playing a bit of GTA. We got there 165 for the Canes. And there's I will mark that. It was like it was yesterday. As I said, David the Mod. Yeah, the fact that that was like 3 months ago is crazy. I don't know which one was more scary, you or the Xbox exploding score, or surely me. For that one, we have got the 179, says BAO, and also 174. There's LJ and 78 all out for the Canes there. As I says, Music Kiwi. That's going to be an interesting one, that is for sure, for the second innings. After this one, I will mention we've got a few games of sevens that we are going to be covering on the channel as well. I will quickly tell you exactly what games we have got coming up for the sevens department. There are plenty of them. There are plenty of them indeed. So we have got ourselves, the first game we are covering is at 1:12 a.m. and that is going to be South Africa versus Scotland. Then the next game after that we are covering is at 4:06 a.m. Kenya versus Wales, 5:12 p.m. 5:12 a.m. Australia versus Japan, 5:34 a.m. England versus Scotland. Then we have got ourselves maybe the women's game at 7:35, Australia versus Ireland. And then it is going to be at 9 a.m. If we are still awake and we are still raring to go, we are going to be in the situation of we will go with the game between Harlequins and Castries. And should I do an all-nighter, as I said to David Brown, it depends on how well you recover from all-nighters, I would recommend. But those are all of the games that we are doing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of sevens coming up. Also a game of the Champions Cup if we do end up staying right up through it. And so plenty on the channel. And then we got tomorrow night, the BBL, some more of the action as well. And also we have got the A going to be live all night, says Brandon. Pretty much, other than I think I've got a couple breaks in between where I will be able to consume some food and whatnot. We do like food around these parts. That is for sure. But currently we are just waiting for the second innings of this match to get back underway. So yeah, our first game is a sevens one. Next game after that is going to be a non-sevens. Oh, actually, no, it is still going to be a sevens one. So when I do an all-night, I see for 20 hours the next day as well. Says Xavier, I'm definitely not doing an all-nighter. I'm not dumb. As I says, Music Kiwi, there you go. But if you are dumb, anyone who is watching, I'm going to be dumb as well because I'm going to be up all night for that one. And then I'll just sleep during the day tomorrow for that one. But currently, they are just showing the highlights. Matt Shaw, he was phenomenal. 89 runs. I reckon you should do it all day. As I says, I mean, I'm probably going to end up doing it all day on Tuesday when I am recovering from all of the sleep that I will be having at random hours of the day. And I might even go golfing. Hamish might be a good idea. But Cobain, he was slowing it down a little bit. Matty Renshaw, John O'Wells, and also Travis Head. None of them really fired the way that the top order did, with Alex Carey sitting on 67 off 45 and Matt Short sitting on 89 runs off just only the total of 48. Oh, wait, I'm still dumb though as well. And then also I'm going to be live in Auckland tomorrow. I got a 1 hour drive, so good night. As I says, Brandon, so we will see you later on, mate. And also you should do a video, ADELAIDE try and bench press 200 kgs as well, says Xavier Brown. I think I quite like my back though. So I feel like that wouldn't be a good idea. Even ADELAIDE try and bench press 20 kgs might be a struggle at the moment with the amount of exercise I've done lately. Got the Hurricanes winning 190 off 5 balls left as well. You're terrible at golf, don't play as well, says David Spencer. I mean, it's a good point, but the only way to get better is to keep on playing. I can imagine yourself, Hamish Spencer, you're probably a bit of a quitter, so you probably want to stick at something for a little bit longer than a day to try and get a little bit better at it. At the moment, they're talking to Mitch Marsh. Currently, he is in a hotel room waiting for the Perth Scorchers, taking on the Sydney Sixers, and that will be coming up tomorrow night, 9:15 p.m., so it is going to be an interesting one to see how it does end up going for that matchup. Whoever wins that goes through to the final for next Friday. The loser of that will take on the winner of the Thunder versus the winner of this game. And then from there, it just keeps on going. And it going and going. Currently, off 20 overs, they are going to need 189 runs. Boland was actually the most economical bowler out of the lot, going 4 overs, 32 for 1, 2 wickets for Riley Meredith, 2 wickets for Tom Rogers, both getting 37 for 2 there. As the Kiwi Gaming might be coming back in February. Hopefully, we will be able to get it going up as our practicing makes you worse. As I said, Hamish Spencer, I mean, that's not normally the case because that's why they call it practice. As and also we've got I'll go the Hurricanes 173 for 8. As I says, Las Vegas Raiders fan forever as well there. And Darcy Short, he was a bit more expensive, 9.33 per over. He went for Jordan Thompson, 10 runs off his over, and then Will Parker. He was expensive, but he got the early wicket for himself as well. And also, if you want some good advice, and there says Music Kiwi, that is a very short sentence. I'm waiting for the punchline for that one as well. But currently, Alex Carey, their first partnership was 145 runs for themselves. When you fall, just give up. and never try again. As well, says Music Q. I feel like that sounds like Hamish Spencer's motto. So I feel like you guys would get along quite well. But currently, I mean, Tom Rogers, he dropped a catch, so he will be hoping that his side, the likes of a McDermott, the likes of Wade, Caleb Jewell, and also Darcy Short, Peter Anscombe, Tim David, they've both got very deep batting lineups. So they will have to try and use them to the best of their ability. Even Jordan Thompson, he can hit a long ball for himself. So it will be very exciting seeing the second innings. At the moment, the odds, the way it is sitting, 24% chance of the Hobart Hurricanes being able to go on and get themselves a win here. 76%. Players are always hitting in the wrong direction. As I said, Hamish Spencer, you know, you're supposed to go towards the hole, don't you? Not away from it. And also one direction as well. This is Music and sometimes actual game time is more important than practice as well. Says that BBL, and also we've got a shout out Akhtar as well. Pakistan has bowled the fastest ball of 161.3. Yeah, we were looking at that a little while ago. 161 k's, you wouldn't even be able to see it. It just go past you and you'd be like, oh yeah, good leave from myself there. I'll just leave the bat out of the way. Or you just end up probably in that situation, just going like this, putting the head down, hoping for the best that you don't get hit with it. Because that's the thing, even in recent times, I think the fastest ball I've seen is probably about 153, somewhere around that mark. And that was probably Jofra Archer or someone along those lines. If at first you don't succeed, just play on very easy mode, as I said, BBL. That is good life advice. As I know, so you're watching the South Africa versus India ODI. I haven't been at the moment, but I can keep you informed about what the score is in that one. As I know, so we have got there, would you rather face a ball from him or tackle Taniela Tupou? Ball from him, 100%. Because Taniela Tupou will be able to break me in half, and I would rather not get broken in half. At least getting smacked with that ball, like, yes, it's going to break something, but hopefully it's a, like, kind of more clean break than Taniela Tupou. I hate golfers unless they are professional or experienced as well. There's Hamish Spencer there. I mean, they have to start somewhere, though. I guess they don't just come out of the womb professional, do they? Tiger Woods, I mean, even though he was probably playing pretty well at the age of about 3 or 4, you know, he didn't come out and go, right, give me the clubs. I've got a handicap of 4, and I'm going to get that down below the par mark before I'm hitting about 7, somewhere around there. Jofra is training in Barbados with the T20, and also we have got the Sash as well. And also, are you a cats or dogs person? I have got a cat, so I haven't got a dog, so I guess I'm a cats person, but I love a dog as well. So I guess it is one of those ones that, like, I would like to be able to have it. And also, are you watching the Malaga Sevens? I am indeed. We are going to be covering a few of those games. I believe we've got 5 a little bit later on. I sent that message before about YouTube. I don't like the word hate. No, it's not. As on there says Hamish Spencer. But currently, Peter Siddle, he's actually got the golden cap for himself for the Adelaide Strikers, which is pretty awesome for the wicket takers. But yeah, the first game we are covering, it is going to be one moment. I will get it up. I know that Kenya versus Canada are playing in a very short moment. And Australia versus Belgium, the moment for the women's department is 19-5. Currently in dogs over cats. I love a dog. They can go on walks as well. I always get hit by them as well. Says Hamish Spencer. I mean, maybe don't mow the fairway that they're on could be a good idea. Or maybe just tell them not to play on the one that you're on as well. Could be a decent kind of idea for that situation. But the men currently, the game that we are covering first for the men's, it is going to be South Africa versus Scotland at 1:12 a.m. for that one, and also the Karen emojis, and they're from Xavier Brown. But currently, like I mentioned, a 24% chance that we do get to see the Hobart Hurricanes go on and win this game. Cats go on walks by themselves as well, says BAL, and also I'm gonna go watch the Phoenix. I'll come back and celebrate if we win as well, says that Music Kiwi. I mean, they're sitting 2-0 up at the moment for the Wellington Phoenix. So sitting very nicely indeed up against Western United at the moment. Afghanistan, they are sitting 161 for 4 for anyone who is curious about what is happening in that matchup. And then for South Africa up against India, after 20 overs, India are sitting 107 for 2. Maybe tell them to hit on their fairway and not the opposite fairway as well. Says Hamish Spencer. I guess that's a good point. Or just mow them when they're not on certain areas of the maybe of the field. And Carman 22 killed his rabbit by stepping on it as well. Jeez, it's a bit brutal, isn't it? And also we have got there, cats can go on walks by themselves. Yeah, my cat, I don't know where he is at the moment. He's certainly walked about somewhere else around. I give up all the space I did, and they still stuff up as well. Says Hamish Spencer. I guess that's life though, isn't it? In a way. And also, hang on, I forgot the skiing is on today in half an hour too. Says BAL. So there is plenty on the Winter Olympics just around the corner, February 4th. BAL, we might be covering a little bit of it on the channel as well, Pat. So that is something you guys are keen for. So we look at that as you can hold. He is indeed. pretty much extremely old. He's sitting about 17 or 18 years old at this point in time. So he's been around for a fair while. Former gap practice at a range before actual golf as well. And yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I feel like hopefully, no one's trying to purposely hit you. It's just sometimes it doesn't come off the club the way that you want it to. At the moment, we've got an ad for this vehicle. I've had an ad for about 100 times so far. But currently, they are talking about the fact that it's a nice vehicle. Hopefully, we see a nice run chase here from the Hobart Hurricanes. So it is sitting 0 for 0 off 0 as well. 20 overs to win now for the Hobart Hurricanes. 120 balls, chased down 189 runs. My Cats 11, our last one got up to 20 before it died as well, says Frank. So that is a good effort from the Cat indeed. Because I know that a Cat's life expectancy is somewhere between kind of that 15 to 20, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. It was a high from 100% as well. Are you a greenkeeper as well? He is indeed. Currently, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not McDermott can fire in this game as well. Not to mention most of them are spoiled old rich blokes as well. And there says Aaron Spencer. So the ones who pay your wages then, I assume, for their green fees and whatnot. And also we have got there, do you think South Africa, New Zealand, Australia should tour the Northern Hemisphere for a test series in rugby as well? Also, should we see the return of All Blacks as a Springboks test series? Says Connor, I know that we're going to get to see a few other matches coming up in the near future. We got a little bit of a spammer who wants to say hi many times. And that one, he was typing that quickly. Couldn't even get the H rather than the V. The V isn't even close to the H. I'm not sure how he's done that. Maybe a different keyboard at this stage. But yeah, I know that we got South Africa versus England this year and also New Zealand versus England. We are going to get to see. But we've got Ireland versus New Zealand in a 3-match series here in New Zealand. So hopefully we get to see quite a few tours coming up in the near future. But currently now it is going to be Matt Short. Nicely hit down the ground from McDermott. That sounded like the middle of the bat straight away for that man. That is going to be a good run too between the wickets. And that is something that, I mean, the Adelaide Strikers, they need to make sure that they do improve. I work for a company that gets contracted by the golf club. As I said, once when I was on holiday, one of the people that came to my house ordered 40 pizzas and we had pizza for like 2 weeks. 40 pizzas. How long did it take? I don't get them their money as well, says Aaron Spencer. I mean, but who pays your contractors? It's all a bit of a pyramid system, I guess you could say. And I was about there, thank God, I've got 2 TVs next to each other as well. Good reply, Irish. As I says, David the Mod. But currently now, it is going to be Fawad Ahmed. Does throw that ball in. It went to the boundary from McDermott. So currently sitting on 6 runs off 2 deliveries. Currently sitting 183 more runs. It took 5 hours to come as well. Geez, that's a lot. That's a huge amount. As Adelaide Hurricanes 179 runs as well, says for sure. I will allow it. So we will put that one in. As I see you saying, they will come up just short, but at the moment, Matt Short, once again, bit of space. McDermott tries to hit that one, doesn't quite get all of it. It's going to be taken by Peter Siddle, and McDermott gone 6 runs off 2 deliveries now, and that is not going to be good. The leading run scorer taken by the leading wicket taker as well, the course basic company. That is nationwide as well. And there says Aaron Spencer. Matt Short hits it straight up. It was actually in the air McDermott. Now, this was about where he was dropped in the first innings, Matt Short, but they've made sure that they have been able to take that one very nicely as well. The money then pays for goes to the golf club workers as they're on there. Says Aaron says, and also 40 pizzas in the last. No one is really interested as well. And then I got 2 TVs next to each other. And also we have got there 40 pizzas the last 2 weeks or so. They must have been a moldy after the first week. Yeah, unless you freeze them, of course. If you freeze them, they can stay good for about a month. I think it is a month in the freezer you can go for. Just stick them in the oven and go for broke after that. But you got to wrap them in Gladder at first. It's a little bit of advice. But at the moment now, the Hobart Hurricanes, their chance of winning this game has gone down to 16% just with that one little moment. And currently, Matthew Wade, Caleb Gill, 2 men who will want to fire in this game for a chance at the final as well. Currently 0.3 overs down for this one. And they've already lost their first wicket. It's a huge difference because 6 runs on the board for 1 wicket compared to 145 on the board. Yeah, we freeze them as well. Says Xavier Brown. I mean, 40 pizzas, so was it like $200? And you might as well just buy frozen pizzas in as well. Here's BAL. Although it does depend a little bit. Sometimes if you feel like a frozen pizza just doesn't quite do the job, 40 pizzas at once, I will say, is probably a bit overkill. Even 10 pizzas at once is probably quite high. or another direct hit for the Adelaide Strikers. So they're looking sharp in the field at the moment, but they do get through, and Jewel is able to get himself one running off the Aussie girls. 7 girls are so hot as well. And then says Hamish Spencer. Also, they got $18. Hamish Ireland woman fresh, the Spanish woman as well. Here's Aiden. And yeah, at the moment, I mean, it's going to be interesting not seeing the USA, not seeing Fiji. I feel like it's going to be a final between Australia and South Africa again, perhaps, or maybe even England might have half a chance of being able to go up there, but more than likely, probably it will be Australia versus South Africa in that final now. Unless the likes of Spain or Argentina really throw themselves in there. And they are. I haven't seen them yet as well. And there says Frank, once again, another single. Matthew Wade gets himself off the mark, and that will be the end of the first over. McDermott falls, and it is going to be 8 runs for the Hobart Hurricanes with the 1 wicket. Matthew Wade now, that's the thing. Normally they do end up with Matthew Wade and McDermott. If one of those guys don't fire, the other one does. So they need Matthew Wade here. In this matchup, we had like 30 people at the beach house, and the pizza took so long because it was in the small beach town as well. And I was probably at any point, got me for the first innings, 199, Michael. Unfortunately, Vishal, you did just miss out. I think you were about 5th for that first innings one. And currently, Kenya versus Canada is coming just around the corner now for that first match of the 7s in the men's department. And now it is going to be Harry Conway. 7 matches, 3 wickets. He's got an average of 56. And also, that's not a house, that's a mansion as well. And there says Amy Spencer, but currently now Conway here is going to be raring to go. And also, what house fits 30 families as well. And there says Amy Spencer, a big one, as for sure. Mark Howard, Michael Vaughan, and Michael Hussey, all of the commentators. A lot of people are called Michael when you think about it. Michael Clark is another one. Michael Holding as well. Or Michael Holder, sorry. I think I said the wrong name. Who else is a Michael? Michaels in cricket, ladies and gentlemen. Do let me know 5 Michaels that you can think of. Going to be the short ball, Matthew Wade. Able to pull it away. Tom Kelly, the cowboy, as he is nicknamed. And the BBL is able to take it nicely. Keeps it to just a single there. And also how it was a party as well, says Xavier Brown. I guess that's a good point. And also Michael Hoop at the goat as well. Of course, if we're talking rugby, you got a few Michaels scattered throughout there. Michael Alalata, Michael Hussey as well. And there's Riz Frank. Tell you what, we'll test our knowledge. You got to go on Michael in the chat. That hasn't already been said. Let's see how many Michaels we get going through on the next little while. But now it's going to be Harry Conway off the edge there. Doesn't quite carry to the man at short third man. I think they were just saying about the fact that he wasn't quite going to be able to get out to that one. And also we have got there, what the hell? Well, when did Belgium have a 7th team? Probably around the same time that Jamaica and everyone else along those lines did as well. And also they got the Aussie Open until the skiing starting as well. And it is Asimova versus Osaka as well. And also Michael Clark, says Frank. There is Michael Jordan, says Xavier. So we're going down a few different sports. And also Australia just won 40-8, beating Belgium as well. That's actually probably not too bad for Belgium, because we saw teams getting beaten by 50 points in the Dubai Sevens. So I'd say, I mean, that's the thing. As long as they're getting a chance on the stage, because other teams are pulling out. So if you can bring in another team, it's worth a crack. As I assume that it's the women's department, and the Australian women's side, they just beat everyone at this point in time. Nicely played once again by Caleb Jewell. The crowd with a light applause. Of course, we don't have a huge amount of people there. Michael Hussey as well. And this is Xavier Brown. And also we've got there Michael Nessa. There from Frank, but currently Michael Vaughan is on commentary. I'll add that name in there. I'm not going to type it, but you guys know Michael Vaughan, of course. Englishman. Won't be too happy with the previous Ashes series, unfortunately, but still going to be hopeful for the future, definitely with the series coming up. Demi Hayes as well. And there's his Amy Spencer. Her name doesn't quite start with Michael. But yeah, that's just all right. And I know that it is a different topic before you go, no, I'm not talking about that. That is going to be just a single once again. Caleb Jewell moving up nicely for himself. 2 off 5. Needs to keep on kind of propelling himself forward, though. This one they're showing there, the Scorchers versus the Sixers. That game is going to be taking place tomorrow, live from Marvel Stadium, 9:15 p.m. New Zealand time. It's when that one is going to be happening, and we will be covering that one on the channel as well, alongside some more Sevens action and a whole heap of other rugby, including the URC, I believe, is another one that we are going to be covering tomorrow night or the night after, maybe. I don't actually know what night it is at the moment, but that is the end of the over. 1 for 12 now for them after the 2. And also we've got Michael Hutchins as well on there. Says Novmum, I'll be honest, I don't actually know who that is. So I feel like I've let you down a little bit there, Novmum. So I do apologize for that one. But Conway only the 4 overs off it. I'm a creep. She has boyfriend as well. And there says Amy Spencer. But currently, I am just trying to load up the scores from the previous games for the Australians to see who they have had like those. Because I know that they brought up 50 points in the Dubai Sevens as well against someone. They are just showing there the length. He has found it straight away, Harry Conway. And that is why it is going to be so important that they keep on finding that line of length. Peter Siddle, he will be not too far away, I wouldn't think. But Short's going to be bowling again. Only 8 runs of his first over. Reverse sweep there from Caleb Jewell. It's a good shot. And that is going to be racing away to the boundary now for the Hobart Hurricanes. I'm showing my age as well. Your mum should know who he is as well. And Michael Hudson plays NRL or played as well. Michael J. Fox. And there's David. So there's a lot of Michaels around when you think about it. Like across sport and also just in general. I'm trying to think of the youngest Michael I know. Probably someone who's about 19. I think is the youngest Michael I know. And also Michael Jackson, Michael Klinger. And as well says Frank. Sweep shot. That's worth a shout, but it is going to be just outside of the line and also maybe hitting a little bit down leg. Caleb Jewell at the moment. He has the left-handed batsman, which is normally the more economical way of facing off against Matt Short. And they're going for 6.82 for the economy. It's going to be hit by Caleb Jewell, not quite getting onto it. Michael Keaton is on there. Says it, Novmum. So we have got a lot of Michaels. That is for sure. Also, we've got there Michael Keaton. Oh, you guys were almost synchronized there for the Michael Keaton, who I can't think of off the top of my head now. Caleb Jewell with the sweep shot. Going for it early, and it seems like he knows that this is a big moment for the Hobart Hurricanes to be able to really propel this innings forward rather than sitting back and relaxing a little bit too much. They still need 9.75 per over. It's not going to be easy. I'm not sure what I said there for per. I think I said poor over. So I said there, reverse sweep, conventional sweep. Caleb Jewell looks like he's trying it all. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a ramp shot soon from that man as well. He's sitting on 11 off 10. He's slowly creeping his way towards the power surge. I'd say that they need, off the first 10 overs, if they're sitting somewhere around that 90, they've got a good chance. If not, maybe even 80 at the start of the 90, if they would be pretty happy. Or sorry, at the start of the 10th, they'd be pretty happy with that as well, because we did see them slow down big time for the Adelaide Strikers. It's a sweep shot, nicely played by Caleb Jewell. If you missed it, would have been worth a shout. But for now, he is striking the ball quite nicely, running hard between the wickets here. Matthew Wade and also Caleb Jewell. They just take the single, though. That will close out the over. They're going at 7 and over so far, 21 for 1 off the 3. So Matthew Wade is waiting patiently. He's sitting on 3 off 3. Caleb Jewell sitting on 12 off 12. Don't forget Princess Michael of Kent as well. Princess Michael. Is Princess Michael a thing? I'm a happy food now is here. And there says Xavier Brown. So that's good news for you, mate. I think I'm having my tea at about 2 a.m. today. That's going to be all right. You know, I feel like that's going to be a decent time to be able to have a little bit of tea / lunch as well. And then we are going to be up right through to lunchtime in the morning. Yawning again. It's annoying me, Michael Bevan, as well. And there says Frank. And Shahidi has been able to get himself his 50 in the game for Afghanistan up against the Netherlands. But Peter Siddle, the leading wicket taker in the competition, he had a rough start to the BBL. But then from there, just kept on going and going and going. And yeah, she's married to Prince Michael of Kent, as well as his BAL. They are just showing there a few sixes that we saw from Matt Short. And there were quite a few. He was able to hit 6 or 7, I believe, throughout that first innings. Just kept on going, bam, got himself up to 89 runs. It's a brilliant save there from Parker, but unfortunately did still go for the 6. Nicely played there by Matthew Wade, and no run called. And the Queen's cousin as well. And there says David the Mod. Currently, this game, I feel like it's going to fly by. Definitely if they get a couple quick overs in where they don't go for a huge amount of runs here for the Adelaide Strikers. But this is Peter Siddle's first over of this matchup. Currently, 4 4s, 6 6s. So very, I guess you could say, common numbers there for Matt Short. But now Peter Siddle He'll be charging in, ready to go once again. He is the leading wicket taker. It's a slow ball. Matty Wade hits it over the field. And that is going to be rolling away to the boundary for 4, out cover way. It is a very nice shot. They've got to keep on being aggressive here. The Hobart Hurricanes, anytime that gets over 10 runs required per over, you've got to make sure you cut it back down. That is exactly what Matthew Wade is trying to do. Also, is trying to get that last power surge over to be a good one. 2 players who have played quite a bit of cricket. There's only one queen and he's dead. As on there says Abdullah. Ramp shot attempted there from Matthew Wade. They do take on the single. Oh, tell you what. It was relatively close to a run out there of Matthew Wade. Currently, he is sitting there though. 7 off 6. It was the lead by Caleb Jewell now 13 off 13. 2 last balls here. Have a bit of a swing, I guess you could say, off Peter Siddle's bowling. Peter Siddle, tell you what, that wasn't a mile off for Matthew Wade to get run out there. All that's it is bad, and they're going to take the lead by once again, and they do get there as well. Currently, Matthew Wade and Peter Siddle just apologising to each other for them having a bit of a mix-up in the middle of the field, or in the middle of the pitch, I should say, as well. So the next game, it is going to be taking place at Marvel Stadium. The next game after that is going to be at the MCG. So we've got 3 games in Melbourne. I believe the Burr Scorchers have mentioned that they will have their home games at Marvel Stadium. To get that, she was Colonel and Chief of Regiment. Sorry, my cousin was in as well. Says David. Shot there from Matthew Wade. It's high up in the air, but it's the there's actually just a man standing out there, and Matthew Wade has gone. Matty Renshaw. I want to take the catch. Did Damon Spencer get timed out? Those things never change, do they, as well? And there says Sebastian. Did he get timed out? I haven't touched anything. So I assume someone must have decided, you know what? We'll give him one of those. And also Michael Johnson, former American Olympian as well. And then Michael Johnson. Who else have we got? Michael Chandler, is it, in the UFC at the moment? I think it also there's another Michael Bisping. He's a talkative fellow from England. Of course, and Matthew Wade, very talkative fellow, but not saying too much at the moment. He is out 7 runs off 7 deliveries. And now they are just having a chat to Matty Renshaw, who was able to take the catch. But Siddle picking up a power play wicket, the final ball as well. And Coppins over United Kingdom as well. And there says for show. And also this game is in the bag for the Hurricanes as well. Boland will score the winning runs from a rank shot off Siddle. Imagine the scenes if Scotty Boland was able to get the win for his side. And also we have got he was having a sugar rush as well. And there says David the Mod. And also Michael Bublé. And then Malaga Sevens update. Australia Women's just beat Belgium. Invitational by 40-5. The men are yet to play as well. Yeah, I believe it is going to be 11-22 for this situation. That's going to be Kenya versus... Who are Kenya versing? They've got someone coming up extremely soon, though. And how come they sometimes use the Gazos as well? It's Smith near finals, but not Stark as well, says Frank. It's a good question. I know that Steve Smithy was turned down a chance to play on the BBL. So Michael Myers as well. Says David the Mod, and also we've got who's going to cause the biggest 7 upset tonight. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I think there was one. I think it's the Spanish women's side. I think. Oh, what game was it? I said that one of the underdogs were going to be able to get themselves a win, though. Our Matt Short once again going to be bowling 2 Darcy Short almost off this one, and also we have got the Michael Bublé a little bit earlier on. Michael Johnson as a commentator for the BBC Olympics coverage now. And then are you planning to stream Malaga Sevens later on? I am indeed. We have got our first one will be, I think it's actually South Africa versus Scotland. We are going to be covering that first game on the channel. One moment, I'll get my schedule up. So we have got South Africa versus Scotland, Kenya versus Wales, Australia versus Japan, England versus Scotland, and Australia versus Ireland today. And then we're going to be doing the semi-finals and everything that is taking place tomorrow that we can, as long as we kind of balance everything that we got. Canada is playing Kenya as well. Also, rudeness is unbecoming as well. And there says that's going to be whipped away to the league side once again. And also Sevens on World Rugby YouTube as well. I think it is in certain countries, depending on where you are from. I know that in New Zealand, we're not allowed to. Rishabh Pant just bring it up as 50. But if you've got a VPN, I think you can actually watch it in certain countries on either the World Rugby website or on the YouTube channel, like you just mentioned, is the other option. Matt Short, 2 singles in a row here. currently off him, and that is going to be Caleb Jewell once again whipping it away out to deep point. And that is going to be just a single. The required run rate at this point in time is sitting on 15 off 16 deliveries. Oh, sorry, Caleb Jewell at this point in time. I think I said the run rate was sitting on that as on strikers by 100 runs. As I said, Shannon there. And also, how much are you going to do most of the sevens game tonight, though? As and there says, and we are going to be doing those main 5 that we mentioned. So we were going to be doing Fijian games and also a few of the other games, but they have all been cancelled, unfortunately, due to like the game against Samoa or Samoan games, New Zealand games. We were going to be covering all of them as well. But the first one we are doing is going to be South Africa versus England. No, that's tomorrow. One moment. First game we are doing is South Africa versus Scotland. It's going to be 112. And then after that, we have got the Australia versus Japan. Kenya versus Wales is actually prior to that one. And then also we have got the England versus Scotland. South Africa versus Fiji, that was going to be a good game this morning. And we also got their Demi in there as well. And also we've got their, if Spain cause an upset, which game as well? What about after those few games, says Aiden? So after that, we have got the women's game between Australia and Ireland, and then maybe Harlequins versus Castros as well will be coming up. And of course, we'll cover the AFL as well. And there says Shannon also Super Over. And there says Frank, but that one has gone straight up into the sky. That was the wicket of Ben McDermott. Then after that, they did end up losing their wicket of Matthew Wade as well. But yeah, next weekend we will have a lot more of these sevens covered. Then this week, definitely with Fiji and also everything else. Will there be a Rugby Down Under podcast about the sevens as well, says Xavier Brown? I'm not too sure at this point in time. I did message him a couple of weeks ago. He still hasn't actually replied to me. So I assume at this stage, no. But yeah, hopefully in the future we do get to do a little bit more of the rugby podcast. But yeah, we will have to wait and see, of course. But Joel at the moment sitting 16 runs of 18. 2 off 2 for match or Hamish at the Spain women's cause an upset. Who would it be against? It says Aiden. Are you trying to work out who to put your money on once again, Aiden? Because I'll tell you straight away, the last one that I tried to help you out with did not go well. Jen Humphries, mate, he's a Kiwi. He doesn't watch AFL, mate, as well. Says Xavier Brown. Not a huge amount of it anyway. Forward arm, and now he is going to be into the attack. 11 matches, 10 wickets so far. Good economy. 7.4 if he can get that down to about, that's the thing. If he can get it down to about 6, he'll always responds on there. As I says Xavier Brown, and that is going to be going once again. That is just going to be the single. So Caleb Jewell needs to speed up. It's unfortunate that Fiji isn't playing in the Malaga Sevens as well. But then against, then again, New Zealand have missed 3 World Series by now as well. Do you reckon New Zealand will join World Series in the future? Also, why New Zealand's still not competing as well, says Ed. So pretty much from what I have heard as well, I'm going to say first reason is because they can't actually get quarantine at the moment for New Zealand. Apparently, they're going to be joining up after the Malaga Series, though, because Fiji still want to be able to compete for next week in Malaga, by the sounds of it. So hopefully that will be the case. So I'm not too sure how it will be. Oh, that's a good shot there. That's actually gone for 6 there for Darcy Short. So smacking it down the ground for a big shot from Darcy Short. But currently, yeah, they weren't going to be able to get back into the country for another few months. So I think that is why they were going to be staying out of this one. I would like to see them back. Samoa as well as another side that did decide against the travel. But hopefully we do get to see them back in the near future zone. How did you know, Hamish? As I says, it's just the way it was worded, you know. If they were going to win the upset, or if they were going to win, who would it be up against? Because, of course, if it's an upset, it means that there's good money that would be able to be made. I was regular. My friends, my grandma's friend died today as well, says Ollie Wilson. So condolences to your grandma there. Hopefully you are sitting there and being very nice to her as well. But currently Short sitting on 9 runs off 4. I feel like if your last name's Short, you're scoring some big runs today, perhaps. Caleb Jewell still needs a few more. He's just ticking over singles every once in a while. Good running between the wickets to get once again another one. But Caleb Jewell is sitting on 18 off 20. And RIP to Ollie's grandma's friend. As on there says Xavier Brown. But currently Fawad Ahmed with that 6, he's gone for 9 runs so far of the first 4 deliveries of his over as well. Currently now they're missing Rashid Khan for the Adelaide Strikers, of course. No runs scored off that delivery. And also the Harlequins should win though as well. And this is, and they should indeed, definitely at home at Twickenham Stoop. They should be all right for that game, I would think. But it's always hard to tell sometimes for the Champions Cup. You never know what French side you're going to get to see come up against another single there. And that is going to be the end. Oh, the Fawad Ahmed over 10 runs off it. Hobart Hurricanes, they still need another 146 runs to win this game off 84 balls. And currently they have an 11% chance of being able to do so. They need Darcy Short. And a lot of the games up to this point, he hasn't been able to tick over more than about 110 and be against the Harlequins as well. And there says Amy Spencer. I mean, you could. There's a chance. I mean, the last game against Castros was close. And any Premiership players in the England Sevens team as well. Says Xavier Brown. Not that I know of at this stage. I reckon it will be an upset. As well says Amy Spencer. I was like, there, what can you do? What can you do down in New Zealand as well, says Frank. What else have we got that we can do? I mean, you got the occasional beach and the pools and whatnot. Sports, a lot of sports. So Strikers to win as well. And so I think Spain's women's team are beating ours as well, says that not happening. It's going to be whipped away to the league side. And that is once again just going to be the single. Caleb Jewell now, he is going to be back on strike for this one. Matt Shaw, he's actually going to be bowling out his first 4 overs already at this stage. And we are only going to be, he's actually gone back to back overs, something that we don't see too often at all in the BBL or any T20 format, to be fair. Ram shot there from Caleb Jewell, playing it nicely, using the pace of the ball. And that is going to be racing away to the boundary as well. Come on, Hurricanes left as well, says Eddie. They have just, it might be Ed. They have just got themselves the 4 runs. Caleb Jewell, if he can get that strike rate going a little bit higher, we will have to wait and see whether or not they can keep on going. And maybe they take the power surge straight away. So I love your YouTube channel as well. Says, thank you very much, mate. And also we have got there, they kneel. And there as well, says, and yep, put a bet on Scotland as well. Do you think Scotland will beat the Blitz box? I wouldn't think so. At this point in time, I think England versus South Africa will be a good game. That's a good shot down the ground from Caleb Jewell. 1 bounce forward, just short of the boundary rope. It's going to be 2 big shots in a row. And this is the danger. When you do bowl the same bowler 4 overs in a row, the batsmen start to find that little bit of timing. You find the pace, you find the bounce of the ball. And then Caleb Jewell is trying to make him pay for this one as well. And also this man is speed talking, as I said. I do end up talking extremely quick, definitely when I get excited. And this game is going to be a very exciting one. That almost landed right on the boundary rope, to be fair. Is that going to be a 6 or just a 4? I think it might be... Oh! Just short might be the call, but I think that's actually going to be a 6. And possibly. And also we got the Hamish Pro 2020 T20 World Cup as Australia or New Zealand versus Australia. So it says Vishal. Okay, from that angle, that is inside of the rope. So I'd say they'll go for the 4. At this stage, Canada are actually beating Kenya at the moment for the 7th side of it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. They're saying it might be 6. I think, now from this angle, it's a 6. From the other angle, it looks like a 4. What have they decided to go with? They haven't quite done it yet. I think it's just a 4. It's just a 4. Get Timmy David out and we'll be right as though, yeah, that man just smacks the ball anywhere. Like, no matter the length, he just uses the brute force. Going to be a little bit uppish from Caleb Jewell. Worked round nicely. Tom Kelly going to be trying to cut this one off. They do just take the 1 run, though. Darcy Short back on strike here with us. Are you watching the Black Cash on TV1 tomorrow night? I think I might end up missing it live because I might still be sleeping from after the all-nighter we're doing tonight. But we will still hopefully be able to watch the replay or the highlights on that one. Canada are terrible. They will still lose as well. Or they will still lose. Okay. Saying Canada are quite a loose side, of course. Moose. At the start, they have quite a few moose. Or meese. No, not meese. Quite a few moose. And in Canada, of course. At the moment now, 136 more runs needed off 39 balls whipped to the league side by Short. That will be the end of the 7th over, the end of the Short spell. Except it's quite a long spell when you think about it because Short bowling 4 in a row, 1 for 33, and it's all good. As on there says Ollie Wilson. They are just showing there McGrath. She was able to get herself 3 for 26 in the bowling department. And also, she got 91 runs off 46 deliveries. And also, we've got the A's coming soon. As well, Tim's 6th on the order. Yeah, so he isn't too far away. I assume they'll send out, depending on the circumstances, maybe you send out Hanscom first if it's early. But if it's later on, Tim David's the man to go with. And he will just end up going out there, hopefully, be able to hit quite a few hits over the boundary and lose as well. And there's Aaron Spencer. But currently, the women's T20 for the Ashes. The first one went to the Australians. They won it by 9 wickets. And again, very impressive performance. Who are they going to be bowling now? It's going to be the second one tomorrow at 1:40 p.m. local time, which is going to be 4:10 a.m. New Zealand time. It is Fawad Ahmed once again hit to the lead side by a short going into the deep. Tom Kelly, the cowboy, once again fields it nicely, and sixes have the advantage of having someone like Nathan Lyon. So I says Frank. Yeah, that's going to be good. Canada actually beating Kenya now 17 points to 5. So they are ramping up with another try by themselves. Currently, Caleb Jules sitting there, 27 of 23 deliveries. Well, it sounds like, can you do a Kiwi Lads sleeping stream as well? I feel like that would be extremely boring because I'd just be sleeping. Although last night, I think I did end up waking up because I thought that I had chipped my tooth, even though I was just sleeping. So then I woke up and I think I tried to explain to someone how I chipped my tooth. Then I went back to sleep. You know, just what you do normally. And the thing is, I've done sleep commentary before, so that would kind of be funny if that was the night that it did end up happening. Maybe I was boring, mate. I don't know. I used to watch it, to be honest, as well. Says Aaron Spencer. I don't know. I just find it a lot more entertaining than some people, I guess. Fawad Ahmed now. Once again, nice little shot there from himself. And at the moment, 7.6 is going to be required. Oh. They've just said that Australia have lost Beth because of a broken jaw in the nets. 17 points to 5. Canada beating Kenya as well in there. They show me hit Kenya as well. And then also, guys, 1K in donations are able to stream himself sleeping as well, says Xavier Brown. That would not be fun. That would not be fun at all. I feel like even like, and also Aiden, please tell me you have a limit as well. And there's Aaron Spencer. It's going to be hit down the ground. Wait, weren't you the one who was encouraging him to bet on Canada just before or bet on someone? Aaron Spencer also I find it too dangerous during sleep streams in case I get stalked as well, says Frank. Also, if Hamish did sleep commentary in New Zealand, I will be winning everything as well, says BAL. I feel like a stream that would be quite fun to do is to set up a camera in like the corner of the lounge and me and George do like a 12-hour overnight live stream. Like whether or not we sleep or not, it's a different story. Or whether or not we just end up doing a whole heap of randomest stuff on the live stream. That's going to be the end of the Fawad Ahmed over. Only going for 6. And it is going to be 60 for 2 here off the 8 overs as well. And the target is 189. They still need quite a few. And someone's sleep is just weird, bro. Someone's sleep is just weird, bro. And so Spencer, I don't think that one was autocorrect. That was more just sentence not quite working together. Too mad to the sleep stream, and it was enough to convince me never to do one as well. Too mad. Right, I might have to have a look at that one and see exactly how bad it was for myself or what happened in that sleep stream. Ed, do let me know. And also watching G as on there. He's Aaron Spencer, and currently at the moment it is 10.75 as the required run rate, and it is going to be now Henry Thornton. Now, he's got about 6 names as well. How about a webcam attached to Hamish's cat as well? That would be an interesting one. Go sneak into George's house and stream him sleeping. That would be all kinds of wrong, and I can't trust what George would do in his spare time. We have got the LJ said hi as well. Welcome back to the live stream, mate. But currently 7.5 as the current run rate for these guys. It's a good Yorker from Henry Thornton. Once again, going to be another single stupid I press said mid-sentence as well. And there says Aaron Spencer. Although that's the end of your sentence. So I think it was just you missed a couple words in the middle, Hamish. That's all right. We knew what you meant. 61 runs at the moment for the Hobart Hurricanes. And his fans that keep playing loud and annoying noises to keep waking him up as well. He even fell off his bed once as well. And there says Ed. How do they play loud noises? I guess, was it donations or something like that? Ended up making it super loud. Something along those lines. Watching someone sleep on a live stream is just weird as well. And we've seen him streaming a catwalk. So says Abdullah, and also George would not wake up. I feel like he's a deep sleeper as well, and life through Billy's eyes. Says Sebastian. Matty Renshaw, he's just talking about the kind of recovery system of like your lungs just end up giving out. So no, I was just sent watching G. I sent watching G before the rest. Weird. As on there. See, Damien says I need complete silence and total darkness to sleep. As I say, I've learned how to sleep during the day, but I think that's because I stay up all through the night. So I've kind of gotten used to like the thought of sleeping. Even if the sun's coming in through my window, I still am somehow able to sleep. Yeah, with Twitch donations, I guess he had set up so you could choose what sound to play if you donate as well. Says ED. Said Ed. I keep on calling you ED, so I do apologize about that. I assume you're Ed, aren't you? Or video as well. Says Ed. Currently Short sitting there on 14 off 12 deliveries. Jules sitting on 34 off 29. Good shot from, once again, Short. And at the moment, there hasn't been too many boundaries as of late in the last couple of overs, and they show people sleeping on Big Brother, though. So, says BAL. That is true. And that's risky business, of course, although they have the ability of editing it out since it's not live, just in case anything happens. Currently, we've got there who the F would donate to a live stream with people just sleeping as well. Says Irish, I think a lot of people, because you want to try and wake them up. So I feel like it's all about that kind of, like, it's just one of those ones. It's like if there was like a cat and it was like, oh, if you donate this cat, we'll drop a cat biscuit out of this kind of thingy or something like that. People donate a whole heap of times because they want to see the cat get fat, you know. I can snooze in the lounge. I don't go into deep sleep as well. And also we've got there, I like ED as well. It just shows the letters. I just chose the letters as well. Okay, so I'll call you ED. And also sneak into Aaron Smith's house and stream himself sleeping. As I says, it's Xavier Brown. I think you guys are trying to get me arrested at this point in time. Darcy Short, 15 runs off 13. He has been struggling this year, not being able to get themselves too high of a strike rate. He always sits around that 100, 110, but it would be dark and we would not be able to see the person as well. Says Xavier Brown, good running between the wicket for the two. And also, we have got there, people watch the most banal stuff on YouTube as well, says BAL. Yeah, there is a rabbit hole on YouTube that you do end up with just a whole heap of random things. And also, we've got there, I wonder Garfield is so popular. Overweight cats are adorable. And I just lost to an unseated American as well, says Guy Broom. You know what? It's an upset and a half then in that regard. Henry Fortin at the moment, they're just showing the way that he generates power for himself. He's a very good bowler. He's still young. So also he's got a bright future in the BBL and has been able to pick up a few wickets for himself. I believe it's hit 8 so far in BBL 11. I don't think he's played that many games either for this one. But now Harry Conway back into the bowling attack. Now I mentioned if the Hurricanes had about 18, then maybe, 80, there would be a decent chance. Kenya making the comeback 15 points to 19 up against Canada at the moment for the sevens for anyone who is wondering about that one. Hobart Hurricanes need 122 more runs off 66 balls to be able to win this game and move on to face off up against the Sydney Thunder. I can imagine watching someone sleep. Enjoying watching someone sleep. That's going to be the edge. It's out for Caleb Jewell. And that is the last thing that they wanted there. Caleb Jewell, he's got 35 of 31 deliveries. And also, it's just weird as I says, Ed. Yeah, I feel like a more likely live stream like that we would do if we had to do one that was involving like kind of an overnight one would be probably just me and George, like either playing games for 12 hours straight, something along those lines. Maybe we just do like a whole be a pro mode or something like that. And also, would you ever call fat person beautiful because of their body as well? Says Hamish Spencer. That seems like a very interesting question, Hamish. I guess it depends on how you're writing it, but if it's the same as your other ones, I feel like this is going to sound cliche, but I feel like it doesn't matter about the weight for a person, you know? If they're beautiful, they're beautiful. There's a go. And Osaka will now drop from 14th to 84th in the world. Jeez, that is a drop. That is a big one as well. But now Peter Hanscom here is going to be making his way out to the middle. 14 matches, 191 runs there. And bloody Joel practicing or practically handing the ball to the catcher, as says ED, yeah. He's been struggling a little bit. McDermott, he was going at the highest strike rate. Darcy Short still at 121 for a strike rate. He needs it to keep on going. Western United scoring in the 90th minute for the A-League for anyone who is following along with that game. So it should be 2-1, I believe, favour of the Phoenix, unless there is another one that has scored very soon. At the moment now, Harry Conway, first wicket. He only went for 4 runs in his first over as well. Hanscom on strike. He's been in and out of form throughout the season, whipping it to the leg side. And they are just going to be taking the one weight. Doesn't matter unless it's a woman sitting on your face as well. Because you are supporting obesity, which is unhealthy and can cause death. As on there says Hamish Spencer. Although it depends on the person as well, because sometimes, like some people don't choose to be overweight. As well, like sometimes there is a condition or something going on. So I feel like it's a very shallow way of looking at things, I guess you could say. And it's more convinced that those golfers are purposely aiming at Hamish, such a bubbly personality as well. I saw on Facebook post asking the question as well. And that one is going to be going away to the leg side once again for another one. KL Rahul getting his 50 for India. Currently, they are ticking over quite nicely. 160 runs of about 28 overs for themselves. But Hanscom now, he is back on strike, just rotating it off the bowling of Harry Conway. He's got plenty of height for himself. And currently, I would say probably 1 or 2 more wickets, although he has just dropped the ball. It was a nice, easy throw to him. So I'd say 2 more wickets for Harry Conway throughout this matchup. But 9% chance that the Hobart Hurricanes will be able to go on and win this game. It's not going to be easy for them, but there is certainly a chance if they can keep these 2 men at the crease for a little while and then send Tim David out there a little bit later on. And also we've got the SA 145 kgs fat, so 2 birds fat, I guess, even though it's a ball of muscle as well. I like take away medical condition and stuff, as well as his name expensive. But I feel like taking away something that's there is like just, yeah, nah. Like it's there. So you can't be like, oh, I don't even want to go down any route of that one as well. But 9.4 overs down at the moment. 70 for 3 here for the Hurricanes. Going to be a relatively straight delivery. That is going to be nicely done once again by Harry Conway, only going for the 4 runs so far off this over. In fact, it's actually 3 runs so far for this one. No, sorry, 4. They did update it like a little bit later on. But required rate is 11.61 as well. But currently 7.22 as well. All right, I'll end it there as well. Good idea. But currently 19 runs for short of 16, like I mentioned. Conway, another over that he's only gone for 4 so far. And also now the strikers at this point in time, they were sitting 0 for 95. And Tupo is muscle and genetics as well. And also we have got there, some people don't have a medical condition as such, but it's just in their gene as well. And this is Ali Hill's exactly right. Oh, that was an awkward bouncing one. Only 5 runs off that Conway over. And it is going to be 1 wicket, 5 runs for Conway. Once again, he's been bowling very, very well. At the moment, Hanscom sitting there 3 off 3. And also we have got there just watching the news about Meatloaf. Great talent as well. Yeah, he has got some very good songs. Indeed, sad news for the music world. So currently they are showing the Australian Open as a little bit of the advertising. I haven't actually watched any Australian Open as of yet. I feel like I probably should try and watch some of it at some point in time. Catch all 16 courts of adult, oh, sorry, not adult only, of Australian Open for that one as well. Do they have 16 courts going at once? That's a lot of courts. As well, that's a lot of tennis, in fact. But now at the moment, it is going to be 10.5 through. I assume that should tick over to 11 in a very short moment. There we go. No, 10.5. I believe it's actually 10 overs rather than that. Who's Meatloaf as well, says Amy Spencer. He is a musician who has been around for a very long time with the kind of music. I thought Meatloaf died years ago, though. As they said, BL, and also it's very hard to be a Hurricanes fan, but Tim David makes it bearable, as us says ED. Yeah, Tim David, the way that man can get 48 runs of about, I think it was 16 deliveries or something like that, or 20 deliveries in the last match, as long as you give that guy just a little bit of time, he can change the game for you. But it's going to be very important that he does end up, he does end up going well for them in the later stages. But the eliminator, that is tonight. Tomorrow night, we've got the qualifier, which is going to be the Scorchers versus the Sixers. Then the knockout is the Thunder versus the winner of this game. The challenger then will be next Wednesday, and that will be the qualifier loser, which is either going to be the matchup between the Sixers and the Scorchers, so the loser of that one. And also, what are songs like names in that? You've probably heard quite a few of them without even knowing, possibly. And also, today, mate, I went to a concert a few years back as well. So, David the Mod, tell us some of the highest rated Meatloaf songs. I'm thinking I've took the words right out of my mouth straight away, as one that you've probably heard many times. And also, well, they have to get through 64 games on both day 1 and day 2. So 16 courts are needed 4 per day. So also that is a very large number indeed. And also today, mate, and also we've got there the Australian Open is on Eurosport. All the matches are trying to find all the other sport. All of the matches trying to find all the other sports. It's ridiculous. And also we've got there, if you can read this, I will donate $10 from Xavier Brown as well. And also Paradise on the Dashboard Light. And also, can you give me a song name for him as well? So took the words right out of my mouth as one that will go well. I feel like David will know a few more of the other popular ones. And also we have got the, he was mad against the Renegades 5 or 6 sixes and like 3 or 4 overs and punt. Might go large and could get 170 plus. Going to be hit down the ground once again by Hanscom. Just a single Travis Head actually into the bowling department here. But currently we have got their bat out of hell, very popular one as well. Afghanistan, I think they just got 50 overs down. They got 222 for themselves, ladies and gentlemen, for anyone who is wondering about that matchup as well. But currently now will be short sitting there, 16 balls faced, 19 runs. And also, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that as well. Yeah, that is probably all. He's just hit Peter Hanscom at the non-striker's end. I was like, don't know. As on there, Aaron says, oh yeah, because you're quite young, aren't you? You're early 20s. So I guess you probably haven't heard too many others. I guess who's Afghanistan playing? They're playing the Netherlands at the moment now. Travis said, oh, just ends up hitting the arm of Hanscom. I think Afghan, we're 2 down. We're 2 down. Would be legendary as well. Says Guy Brown, and also we over there. What exactly is that he wouldn't do as well? That is true. That is a good way of looking at it. What is that? That is going to be not what they do at the moment. Now it is going to be run too quickly here. Once again, Travis Heat gone for 5 so far of the first 3 balls of his over. Afghanistan 252. As not a bad score for them. As I says Frank there. The Adelaide Strikers at the moment, an 89% chance of being able to win this one. Just under 12 runs and over for the next little while. This is going to be tough for them. Going to be hit from Darcy Short once again out into the deep, and it looks like they might get themselves an easy 2 once again. Yes, they do. Good running, and they are just milking the field for the couple. I posted the recently announced Test cricket team of the year as well. Says Sebastian there, this iPad stuff. It keeps pressing send as well. And there says Aaron Spencer. But currently now, Short, 25 of 19, still needs to crank up to probably around that 140, 150 mark. Nicely played down the ground. No run is the call there. 7 from 5 deliveries for Travis. Said he might get another one in Afghanistan as well. And there says Aaron Spencer, yeah, Afghanistan, the team that do play a bit of cricket. Rashid Khan, forward Ahmed, also would have loved to be able to be on that side. That is a wipe from Travis Head, going up to 8 runs now. And must have been, that's an anagram. So Hamish can read it out as well. Must have been Alan. Okay, Alan. Alan, who's Alan? That's going to be the end of the 11th over though, and it is going to be 108 more runs needed off 54 balls, so they need exactly 12 runs and over now. Just showing there the BBL 4 when Brett Lee was bowling for a side. I think there was actually Ashton Agar that he ended up bowling alongside Whitman. As and also we've got the new fun for get Hamish Spencer a new laptop as well. And I thought they couldn't play. And there's this Hamish Spencer. I mean, they're playing at the moment, and that is going to be up against the Netherlands. We have got there. I don't know if anyone who cares about AFL, but I got to take a photo with the 2010 Premiership Cup today as well. A photo I'll remember for years to come. That's pretty awesome. That you will be able to remember that one. And Ireland are bad as well. And there says Frank, and also we've got there because of what's happening in Afghanistan as well. I mean, there are things happening, but they have still been able to get it going. And they have been able to have it so that they can play the matches. That's a good shot from Darcy Short, but straight down the ground, straight to the men as well. Hanscom sitting on 4 or 4. One of these 2 men need to start going soon as well. Like currently 11 overs down. The power surge, I would assume, is only maybe 1 or 2 overs off, but we're seeing straight away that the spin option has been the better option of either spin or pace. But then saying that, Harry Conway, he would disagree. Peter Siddle also still has a total of 3 more overs that he can bowl. Ed, ED, number 1. Collingwood suck as well in there. Seems harsh. Also, we have got there in the current circumstance of the game, I'm looking at the odds, and it is going to be sitting 11% chance that the Hobart Hurricanes can go on to win. It's going to be hit once again by Hanscom. This is looking like it could be just the single. They need some more runs. And they probably need them quite soon as well. They don't want to leave it too late in these circumstances. England versus Fiji for the 7s was actually going to be the first game that we were covering. I have a perfectly fine laptop, mate. Thanks. And Collingwood for the spoon, says Guy. It'll be nicely bowled once again by forward arm. It hasn't really gone for a huge amount of runs. They're going to be running hard. No, they only get the 1 run for that one. And yeah, Collingwood for the spoon as well. Says Xavier Brown. So Collingwood don't seem like they are going too well by the sounds of it in that regard. At the moment now, Hanscom sitting there 5 off 5. They need a boundary and they need one off this forward arm over. He's advanced. He's tried to hit it through the field straight to the fielder. Chance for the run out. Oh, he missed the stumps though for Alex Carey and also Yesel Richmond as well. Now we don't, Winspoons will become bottom 4 at worst as well. Says ED there. And also we've got the Queensland Reds for the spoon as well. And there says Amy Spencer. Currently 12.6 No boundary score for 31 balls now. That's an absolutely huge number. Definitely in a final. That is once again going to be the dot ball. Getting frustrated now for Peter Hanscom, and you're destined for bottom 4 at least as well. And Hamish, then why does your laptop press send? I think he's on his iPad at the moment, so maybe he needs a new iPad rather than the new laptop, Xavier. My current run rate sitting at 7.1. Striking it nicely. It's through the gap that time, but there's a man at deep point. And with the massive boundaries that we've got, it's just very tough to get through. And also we have got there any rugby later, Hamish, as well. And there's this David the Mod. So for the games that we are covering, 1:12 a.m. New Zealand time, it is going to be South Africa versus Scotland. 4:06 a.m. is the next game that we are covering, and that is Kenya versus Wales. Australia versus Japan at 5:12. 5:34, England versus Scotland. And then after that, we have got maybe the women's game that has taken place that will be at, it is going to be at 7:35, and then maybe even Champions Cup Harlequins versus Castries could also be right up there as well. My iPad is fine, just not used to it. As on there says Amy Spencer, and also no, mate, I think you are. And also LJ has said hi once again. Welcome into the live stream once again, mate. Hope you are doing well. At the moment, the team of the year for the BBL: McDermott, Philippi, Maxwell, Marsh, Munro, Sanger, Henriquez, Khan, Ty, Kerr, and Siddle for that one. So a lot of batsmen getting their names up there. I would have probably had, Tom Rogers is probably right up there in terms of an option as team in the year. Unfortunately, he hasn't had the best game today, of course. Right. The power surge is now being taken. And that's why his picture is bare as well. And there says ED. Currently now 104 more runs needed off 48 balls. Siddle only going for the 5 runs. He finished 17th last year as well and didn't get better, so wooden spoon in the bag. As well says Kai Broom. See, I don't really know too much about the AFL overall. So I don't know where people have been finished and much needed for there. That's going to be at the leg side just wide of the man. And that is going to be 4 runs for Peter Hanscom. Currently 10 off 9 he is sitting on. He needs to keep on going here. This power surge is absolutely huge in terms of the reality of this game. Darcy Short sitting on 28 off 23. Hanscom sitting on 10 off 9. And Irish said Reds. This burn out dumb as well, says Xavier Brown there. And at the chat as well. It's going to be nicely hit. And Peter still a little bit disappointed with that one. Already almost going for, geez, that was a full toss. Don't believe it is going to be a no ball, but it is just going to be kept to the single. So now the 90 runs up for the Hobart Hurricanes. Also, we've got the power surge. Are they going to get more runs to LJ? They certainly should. Although we did see the power surge for the Adelaide Strikers actually slowed down their momentum in that regard. But currently the run rate is 7.3. And also Siddle sitting there 1 off 10 for the 1.2. Little bit lead side-ish. Darcy Short once again whips it off his bats, and that is going to be 4 more runs. And what if I'm right as well? Says Amish Spencer. I mean, you did say that Kenya would beat Canada, and you were wrong for that one. So I feel like, it's going to be a tricky one to see if you're right. No one predicted the Stars to get 273 last week as well. And there says Amish Spencer. It's actually this week, but that's all right. I've got their Hanscom and Cobain. I would make an interesting partnership. They would indeed. I feel like those two are going to be, who knows, maybe we get to see them in the future. And North or Gold Coast have their names carved on the spoons. So another big shot down the ground. Brilliant shot from Darcy Short. Another 4 runs. And this is a much needed over for the Hobart Hurricanes just because his picture, profile picture is a beer. Doesn't mean he's drunk as well. So Frank there. And in the chat, but this was a very nice shot from Darcy Short. He's just starting to ramp it up a little bit more. 36 runs. He's now the top run scorer for his side. And just giving himself a bit of room. Peter Siddle, he's looking like he is a bit annoyed with that one. Currently already gone for 13 runs off the first 4 balls. Oh, it's a good shot once again, but it goes straight to the fielder. And it does keep to 1 as well. And also, we've got that. Doesn't matter. No one was expecting it still as well. Says Aaron Spencer. I know that all it takes is just to say one word and you get fired up. So that was my bad. I wanted to see whether or not I could poke the bear, and the bear well and truly came out of the cave for that one. And also, yeah, think. And there it says ED. And Darcy Short there sitting on 36 of 26 deliveries. Needs another boundary here. Would actually very much so help them out. We hit down the ground. And it is sitting it straight to Horton. And that will be the end of the over now. 99 for 3 of the 13.0 overs for the Hobart Hurricanes. And also we have got there a little bit more about the AFL that I have no idea about for that one. As I also have got there, if you poke my beer, I would be swearing as well, says Amy Spencer. Although I feel like, it's getting closer. No, my prediction was 265, wasn't it, Amy? It wasn't me. Very close in that regard. Went high, went hard, went in the end home with the points. And the moment short, 37 or 27. It's a good innings so far, but he needs to keep on building this one. The Hobart Hurricanes, they only have 11% chance of being able to win this one. Hanscom, he's sitting there 11 off 10. The moment France, they are winning their game up against Wales for the 7th side of it. For anyone who is curious about that one, 24 points to 10 after the 8 minutes. We are going to be covering a little bit of 7s later on the channel, and also maybe even the Champions Cup if we are still wide awake at 9 a.m. It's going to be a late night, but we'll see how we are getting on as well. We've got a big night tomorrow night, though. We've got the Champions Cup. We've got the URC, I think, that has taken place during the Sunday night as well. Plenty of action coming up. And then the night after that, we've still got the 7s. We've still got the BBL, and Hamish seems like the prop at the local rugby club, and that never does cardio. I was like, that's a good shot down the ground from Darcy. Short 6 runs there. Now he moves up onto 43 of 28 deliveries. Conway almost went for more runs off that ball. I'm not a prop. That's unfortunate as well. I like the fact that he said he's not a prop, but he didn't admit that he's not the man who never does the cardio side of it. As well, but Conway striking it just in the half volley length for Darcy Short. And he pounces on it. They've still got Tim David coming a little bit later on. Now 16% chance that the Hobart Hurricanes will be able to go on and get themselves the win here. Another short ball, good shot from Short, and that is going to be almost best of the gap. Tom Kelly with some good fielding, and so far in the field, they've been doing very nicely. It must be the hooker then. And Collingwood have their 3rd best odds to get the spoon as well, says Guy Broom. Currently now, it's going to be possibly an expensive over from Conway here as well. And if he ends up going for a lot of runs, 82 more runs needed of 40 balls. And also, we've got about Lipinski. I have no idea who that is. I play 8. I do enough cardio to get me through as I'm there. But now, once again, Conway bowls it. He's hit it straight down the ground once again from Short. And that's going to be another 4 runs. And he moves up onto 49 now off 30. This is a similar innings to what we saw from Matt Short and Alex Guerrero. He is just going to keep on propelling himself forward in this one. And I did mention he needs to find that kind of little bit of form that does get him over that strike rate of about 110. What do you think? Or do you know what spoon means? I do indeed. It does mean last place on the day when Short destroying the ball lately as well, says ED. He is hitting it very well. He's now going at a strike rate of 163. And this power search has been very good indeed for them. Darcy Short, he hits that one down the ground, and he does get the single well batted from Darcy Short, now sitting there 50 off 31. And that is going to be helping him out. They still need another 77 runs, but there's still a little bit of a chance here for the Hobart Hurricanes to be able to go on and do good things in this one. But currently 20th BBL 50 and 72 matches. That is an insane stat. He's had 200s in his career. Can this be another one for the Hobart Hurricanes? The Mark Calder Hall has just been dismissed for 55 in the game up against India as well. So they are now 3 down after 31.1 overs, 179 runs they are sitting on. But currently off this over, we've had 13 runs off the first 4 balls. Hanscom now, I feel like he also needs to go like Darcy Short. Tries that up very hard. I mean, it's going to be a French Cup, but it's going to go for 4 runs. And nice 50 as well, says BAL. And also we have got, I won't fix Collie one side, 22 player game. And there says Guy Broom. I feel like I would read that up, but I would have no idea what I'm reading as in terms of the kind of information involved. Currently another 4 runs. Conway has been very expensive this over. 18 runs so far here. Also, we have got to get ourselves back into the game now, the Hurricanes, says ED. And the partnership moves up to 49 off 29 deliveries. Now, I'm thinking back to how slow they were for the Adelaide Strikers in the later stages of their innings. Hit hard, straight back to the man there. And that is going to be the end of the power surge. Very nicely done. Also, we got that GM. And then Adelaide 100 runs. And there as well. Right, okay. He earns himself another timeout, just like he earned himself a point in the other competition for in terms of the closest to the runs. I think it said 176 or something around there. Maybe 178, actually. But Darcy Short hitting the ball nicely. Another nice yawn for ourselves. I feel like I do need a yawn counter that just updates in the corner or something like that every time I yawn. Although I would have to have it that it can tick over to like 100 yawns throughout the night. But currently now, it is going to be the comparison. They're still a mile behind in terms of whereabouts the Strikers were sitting, but they're starting to get that upwards trajectory, and they lost 6 wickets in their last stages of this match. For the comparison, they were sitting about 145 at this point in time. Don't worry about the spam and sandwich. I'm here as well. I think the top 4 will be Melbourne Dogs, Port Sydney / the GWS. As on there, 5 to 8 equals Sydney, GWS, Geelong, Brisbane, Richmond. As well, by the power play comparison. Very well done, Darcy Shaw. He struck that one beautifully once again, and that's going to be another 4 runs. That takes the required run rate back down to under 12 now for themselves. So they are continuing to tick over very nicely for Darcy Shaw. He's just striking everything out of the middle of the bat in the last little while. He just needed that power surge to give him the confidence, and a dangerous Darcy Shaw is a man that you don't want to have at the crease. 69 runs now off 35 balls here for the Hobart Hurricanes, the eliminator at this point in time. The power play comparison, the power surge, they did end up with 16 runs for the Strikers compared to the 44 that they ended up as well. Have you had the feeling that you're about to vomit but nothing comes out as well, says Frank? When I eat 50 cheesecakes, that's normally what you're feeling. It's a good shot there. Oh, it's a misfield, but he's still been able to stop it somehow for the man in the D. So he's done incredibly well. Keep that adjusted too. I may get my score as well. And Richmond are not making the 8. And this is ED. But currently, short here sitting there on 56 off 33. It was somehow saved. Like he missed it. And the end of the Adelaide Strikers fielded Strikers by 38 runs as well. It just hits the foot. And that was all it needed to stop it from rolling over. It's very close, but I believe he was all right there. He was able to throw it back in. Has Chile qualified for the Rugby World Cup? The World Cup, yeah, I don't believe so. I think they've still got to take on Canada, and whoever wins that then not Canada. They need to take on the USA. That's another big shot. What a catch that is, though. And Cobain takes the catch of Darcy Short. That's going to be a momentum changer right there with that wicket falling. I think they will have one last season. Then next year, like 15th, massive drop-off as well. And Kai Broom, but that is the wicket. Thornton gets it. Darcy Short just continuing to hit it hard. Great take there in the deep from Cobain. And that one could be the difference in that one. All I am going to say is go for Port Adelaide as on there, says Xavier. I feel like it's an option for what side I do go for. So at the moment, it sounds like Port Adelaide is the way to go. We have got the here comes David as well, says ED. And also, so who's going to get eliminated after the game? Whoever loses this one, it is going to be them who do get knocked out. And then whoever wins this game go on to face the Thunder, and then they continue through to the next stage as well. If they beat the States as well, does that mean they make it as well? Says Henry Spencer, I believe so. And the winner between Chile and USA moves to the repechage, not straight to the World Cup. Oh, so they actually still need to take another opportunity to get through for that one. So it's still a little while off. I go for a 7 in the AFL as well. What a catch, says a BAL there. But Tim David now making his way out there. 161 is his strike rate. He's going to have to go at 200 here by this game. And Collingwood is the most hated team in the AFL. So says Xavier Brown. But currently Darcy Short going to be ready to go. 56 years in and don't go for Port as well. You become a druggie very quickly as well. And there, I see. Right. I was like, making it Colton. I'll do Colton. So if it doesn't, if it goes down to the Dons, Saints and the Tigers for 8th as well, definitely the Strikers by 38. And there as well, says Shannon. But currently the required run rate is going to be 12.18. And also, indeed, Uruguay qualified Canada out for good. They are indeed. That's going to go straight up in the air there from Peter Hanscom as he ended up losing his wicket as well. Yes, he does. And then it's 2 big wickets now back-to-back. Yes, America's 2. As on there, says Sebastian. But Hanscom now, it's going to be the hat-trick ball for Thornton, and he is going to be bowling it to the big man, Tim David. Jordan Thompson, he can also hit a long ball, though, so it's not completely over for the Hobart Hurricanes. It is just getting a little bit that way now that Peter Hanscom has lost his wicket as well. Essendon fans to try and win as well. And there says Xavier Brown. And also, I don't go for Port. They always get the double chance. It's our good call, Hamish. Here's something towards the camcorder as well, says David the Mod. Thank you very much. Hugely appreciated for that donation. Yeah, we have got plenty more action coming tonight. We've got ourselves the 7s. We've got ourselves the Champions Cup maybe as well. Australia versus Germany 7, who's winning Hamish as well. I'm going to say Australia will be able to win that one. You're probably going to ask me how many boys so that you can put it on your multi, but nah. Not going to tell you, but Australia should be able to win that one anyway. And why would they qualify through repechage for America's too? As there says Aaron Spencer. Currently, Rishabh Pant losing his wicket, 85 runs off 71 deliveries For anyone wondering, and at the moment we have got there, I agree that it looks like that. But Dusty is Dusty as well, and it feels like he might pull something out of the bag as well. And Strikers are trouble now that David is up to bat, as well, says Eddie. Also, the losers go to the repecharge. As on there says Hamish Spencer, but now Thornton going to be charging in for the hat trick ball. Can the youngster do it? Henry Thornton bowls it. It's going to be whipped off the pads there for Tim David. And it looks like they are going to be able to get through for the comfortable too. And also, we also have the AFL coming up on Wednesday night. As on there says Shannon, so it is just around the corner that we will get to see that one. But currently, Tim David, he is sitting there 12. Oh, sorry, not 12. He's sitting there on a 200 strike rate. Like I mentioned, he needs it to be a little bit higher if he does want a good chance of being able to go on and help his side towards the win. What do you want for dinner tomorrow night as well? Says Xavier Brown. That's a good question. I think I will. The thing is, I feel like with the amount of license that I've got, I'll have to have something that's relatively filling so that I can carry right through to about 4 a.m. from 9:15. So I'd say I'll probably end up, even though it's not the best food overall in terms of healthiness, I'll probably end up having some Chinese. Who knows? Also, we've got there Shannon Humphries as on there. Oh, that's harsh. And also, we've got there Geelong are more consistent. It's only the finals that we struggle on as well. And I wish, do you play Unknown Battlegrounds, PUBG? I do not. I haven't actually ever played PUBG in my life as well. And also, we've got this area, it's my bad as well. The winner goes to the World Cup as America's do, and the loser is American 3 to the repecharge as well. I think I was thinking of something else, as I said, Sebastian there. And also, we've got Geelong have 2 injuries from missing the 8. I love it at the moment. The Strikers, they have a 90% chance that they go on and win this one. Yeah, I probably will end up getting Chinese. I mean, chicken fried rice, fish and chips, nothing wrong with it other than fat. I was just Chinese fun started as well. Says Xavier. That's enough to get quite a bit of Chinese. I think. Thank you very much, Xavier. Usually appreciated, mate. Jeez. Okay, that's happened. And also, I was going to say, Sebastian, and also actually, it's the 18th of Zion in Africa. South Africa and men's sevens to win for $100, paying $106 as well. And then also we've got there, yes, sorry, as I said, Sebastian, and also AFL women's probably is on sometime soon. And 16th, D's versus the Dogs as well, says ED. Oh, nice ball once again. That's throwing me off, Xavier. Thank you very much, mate. But 65 more runs off 29 balls down as the AFL women's on the weekend or midweek as well. That's a very good question. I can actually look it up for you guys. As I also we've got there, you can't predict what is going to happen until it happens, as I said, Frank, exactly right. And they've still got Tim David out there, and that is why he is going to be such a dangerous man to be able to look out for. One moment, we will go like this. And the women's AFL, it is going to be taking place very soon. Also, we've got the bloody hell. You can send me $30 for dinner too, mate. As I said, BAL. And that is going to be nicely done. And also, just Tonga have to go through repecharge. So pretty much, if Tonga beat Hong Kong, they do not have to. They will be qualified. And then I think the loser of that one goes through repecharge as well. Xavier, what are you doing? He's just donated another 30. Well, I tell you what, I will put your first one back up, Xavier, seeing as you did have a message. Thank you very much. I was talking about the AFL as well, and also how much chicken fried rice can you buy for $30? So you can buy plenty of it, that's for sure. And also cheers for the support, Xavier. As I said, Sebastian, also I don't think so. I actually the 18th on Wednesday. As also, the next AFL game for the women's is coming in 14 hours' time. So that will be the weekend one, of course. And then from there, round 4 is going to be taking place next Friday. Is the next time. And I was talking about the AFL. And there as well, that is going to be another single for them as well. David sitting on 3 off 3. Thompson sitting on 3 off 2 deliveries there for Thompson. But 61 more runs needed from 27 balls. Currently sitting very nicely indeed. But Conway, he's sitting there 4 runs off the last 3 balls. And also we'll go there. Xavier Brown is very rich Aussie man donating $60 Australian in 1 minute as Samoa qualified. Tonga wins, or they need to win, or plays the winner between Hong Kong, South Korea, and Malaysia as well. That's gone up in the air. That's another wicket. And Jordan Thompson now, he is going to be on his way and bring on Boland, the finisher. He can do no wrong as well. And also we have got the Hamish is buying dinner for everyone in the chat tonight. As on there, come on the Hurricanes. And that's how many is Australian men? 17 winning by at least 2, Xavier. I think they're going to win by at least 2 runs. Or 2 points, I should say, as well. But currently now Thompson, he will be making his way off the field. 3 runs off 3 deliveries now for the Hobart Hurricanes. They have only got a 4% chance of going on to win this. It's actually the 18th on the NFL, the AFL app, sorry, and come on the Hurricanes. Says Las Vegas, and now they have got Tom Rogers. He can actually hit a long ball, though. We did see him do very nicely for himself. 13 matches, 50 runs, average of 25. He doesn't go out too often, and his best is 33 not out now for him as well. But currently 11 a.m. here in New Zealand. Our next game that we are covering on the channel will be between Scotland and South Africa, and that will be taking place at 1:10 a.m. that we will be starting up that live stream. So be sure to stick around for that one, ladies and gentlemen, as well. And also, we have got there, can I have mod low? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to care about mod. Although I don't know what I'm doing as well. And there. Thank you very much, Dave. Xavier, I should say. I almost called you David for a second there, didn't I? But yeah, that's usually appreciated. I'll have to keep you in mind for the moderator when we do need the next wave of the go through, of course, and we need to stop talking about the target is inside Tim Go Wild as well. Or we need to stop mucking about, sorry, for that one. And also, you've got their bloody Xavier as well, says Sebastian. And also, how Australian men, how much by? And also, at least five points they'll win by, Aiden, I think. And also, the Hurricanes can still win this match if they start hitting more 2s, 4s, and 6s as well, says Las Vegas. Exactly right. Tim David only needs 1 over to be able to really change the momentum of a matchup. 60 more runs needed from 25 balls at this point in time. I was like $90, and I thought this kid was trying to save money as well, says Irish Spencer. And I was like, Xavier must have stolen his credit card as well. It's a good shot down the ground. Oh, it's at the foot, though. That is going to save at least 1 run here. They are not going to get back for the 2 as well. But currently, there is going to be 59 more runs of 24 balls needed for this next little stage of the innings. And he done $100 today. Playoff 5 sitting in it as well. Maybe. Could be the case. And also, okay, I place a 1 to 6 point win, Irish. Are you sure as well, says Aiden? I wouldn't go for that one. I think maybe they're going to win by at least 5. You know, it's going to be huge for the Australians. But currently, they are showing here the Perth score just taking on the Sydney Sixers tomorrow night. That is going to be a very awesome matchup between those two sides as well. And they can all go to Isaac to send him to Melbourne as well, says Xavier. He will be very much appreciative. Appreciative? I think that is the right word as well. And at the moment, it is going to be, I guess, very interesting to see how it does end up going for Isaac's Australia trip. Hopefully it is running smoothly. Well, thank you very much, Xavier. He is also just donated the 99 cents as well. We will put that one up. Maybe he likes blue better than orange at this point in time for that one. But it is usually appreciated, mate, for your donations to the channel. It helps support us very much. So it helps get Isaac to Melbourne. As I'll say, how much have I donated today as well? So you've donated a total of $94 in a row. And then you donated 15 earlier on, didn't you? As well. So that's probably going to be, oh, that's not a good shot from Rogers. That's gone straight up in the air, and that's going to be out once again. And it is going to be Fawad Ahmed who picks up the wicket. So you have 15 added onto that. You've donated like $106. Have you got all your YouTube equipment, Xavier, that you were going to be buying? I really hope that you have. You haven't just thrown it all. So yeah, it will take me a long time to give out $90 for free as well. And there's his own Spencer. And also we have got there March 16th for Melbourne Demons versus Western Bulldogs. So on this is ED. But that is going to be the end of Tom Rogers, and now making his way out to the crease. Believe it is another one of their bowlers. It's not bowling yet, though. And it's the 18th as well. And there it says, was Shannon in the chat, but currently it is going to be Simon Barker. Now, that man almost took an absolute screamer. Navish Japan Sevens about to beat the Irish as well in there. Says Aiden, so that would be pretty awesome. And I have donated $2. So all up $102. I think it's even more than that as well for that one, Xavier. I think you are possibly sitting at around that, maybe about 115 mark. So around there. Can you donate some to me, Xavier? I only have 85 cents as well. And there says Frank. And also we have got there, let's say the celebratory one from Aiden. Wait, did you put money on the maiden for Japan beating Ireland? Is that why you're so happy at the moment? 18th Pies versus Saints on the Friday night as well, says there. But now it is, ED, I should say ED. As and it's only half time, mate, as well, says. It's nicely played there by Tim David. I think at this stage, they need 16 and over. You just got to go. Like, yes, Tim David doesn't want to go out, but if you don't go out in there and you really just don't go for it, you'll regret it. He stepped across to the side. He's tried to smack it. Tim David, did he get enough of it? Yes, he did. 6 more runs for Tim David. This man just has power personified. Every time anybody's running off Nadal, watch the game now. He's schooling, that's a hard name, Khachanov. I think it is. Looks phenomenal as well. Watch out, Tim David's hit his first 6 as well. The first of perhaps many for that man I want Nadal to win. And there, but far went and he's gone for the ride, gone for 6 runs, 3 more balls left. Others I know I didn't know who would win. I'm just happy for Japan. They deserve credit, and not too many people do. As on there, once again he goes back. Tim David, that one is bigger than the last, and that is going to be another massive 6 there for Tim David. Tell you what, this is absolutely phenomenal from Tim David. 2 6s in a row. This man can change a game in an instant. 2 in a row, David, as well. And there says ED. And forward arm, he will not know where to bowl this one now, but that is a brilliant shot. And now the required run rate, it goes from 16.8 down to 14.1. Another 2 here. He might be able to go pretty decent for himself, but it is a brilliant shot. As I said, they've actually lost the ball here. It's gone down the tunnel. It's gone to the car park by the looks of it. No, forward arm, he's got the ball back. And he's going to be bowling this one once again. Currently, 20 balls left and 40 off 20. That's possible as well. It is indeed definitely with this man at the crease, and also I reckon the Strikers will win by 10 to 20 runs as well. Says Shannon there. Use of the feet there. Tim David just smacks it hard straight at the man. I'm wondering whether or not he should have used the feet there for Tim David, but he worked the strike. Oh, they turned down the single for that one. Am I top donor on your stream? Like everyone donated the most money to you as well. Says Xavier. I think you are getting quite high up there in the moment. I think Steve Smith and also Rio Gamer and Johnny Blaze, but they have certainly been on the channel a lot longer in that regard. And also, surely you're going to celebrate Australia Day in New Zealand as well. Says Amy says, yeah, I might eat some classic Kiwi food, such as a pavlova or a lamington or something like that. Nah, it's I don't know whether or not we celebrate Australia Day over here. Those comments, of course, were just to see, they were to throw out the hook just to see whether or not I can get a little bit of fishing going. But that ball went straight down the tunnel, was on its way as well. But a couple 6s from Tim David, but then he missed out on the last 2 balls. So maybe they should have taken the single, because then he would have been on strike for this one. In fact, they did, sorry. So he is now going to be out there for this one. The comparison there a little bit lower. And come on, Hurricanes, as I says, ED. They need 15.33 runs per over at a run rate currently going at 8.4. They need to up it for the last little while. If they can do so, they will be able to go through. I can't believe what I just did as well. And this is Xavier Brown. It was pretty hectic as well, Xavier. I feel bad as well. Oh, it's worth an LBW shout, but it is going to be going down. And Beverly and Kiwi through will be a nice treat to have for Australia Day as well, says Frank, and also nice for. And there says, yeah, very nicely turned around the corner for Tim David. Once again, just ticking over a few more runs. So Hobart Hurricanes, they're not going down without a fight here. Couple men in the middle order just weren't quite able to perform, such as Matthew Wade, 7 off 7, Hanscom, 15 off 13. But everyone else is trying to ramp that one up just a little bit more, including Tim David here. Tom Rogers, he went out relatively early. Will Parker, he is sitting there 4 runs off 1 delivery. That's going to be it down the ground straight to the man, and that is going to be the end of Tim David now. Although Parker, they have got him sitting. Wait, what game are they watching? Will Parker for them is sitting on 13 off 5, but he's not on strike. I don't think they realized that he was the one who wasn't hitting those 6s for the last one, because it got him as 2 6s in a row for Will Parker. But of course, it was Tim David. I don't know. Also, FFS as well. David's got caught or been caught with done as well. And also, we have got the haven't had Pavlovas in ages, or Pavlova in ages as well. And Xavier still the donation. And I'll put it back up on the screen. Tell you what, you're getting some good publicity for Tate McDermott and the Reds this year. Well, like I said, I could be right with my prediction of 173 for 8. So this is Las Vegas. It's looking relatively close at the moment, bats. Okay, we know exactly who's making his way to the middle because you hear the crowd cheer. And no, he isn't. It's 7 for 143 as well. Yeah, so I don't know why they are. Okay, now they've put him back to 0 off 0. So for some reason, they messed it up a little bit. But Tim David, he ended up going out there as the last wicket. And also, I said 174 as well. I've got a base for it as well, but I don't know what to do with it as well. I think just get out that meringue mixer, just go and just keep on going until it's got stiff peaks, I believe is the description. Or you get an Edmonds Pavlova in a can. That is a good way of doing it as well. You can pretty much just put the stuff in there, mix it up, and then all of a sudden you got yourself a nice cheesecake. No, sorry, a Pavlova. And also I felt bad for Ben and Matthew Wade as well, but they really fallen apart in recent stages. As I said, Sebastian, yeah, unfortunately, like they've been in form up till this point. It's a very soft shot from Scotty Boland, decided against absolutely swinging for it, wanted to get his eye in a little bit, but now they are still going to be requiring a total of 16.4 per over here to be able to go through. But the Adelaide Strikers, they have been on a win streak lately. I reckon the Strikers will win by 39 or 20 runs, as I'll see Shannon there. Currently, they need 100. No, they don't. They need 41 of 15. Will Parker now, he is going to be on strike. He needs a boundary, and he does need it now to try and give them a little bit more of a chance of getting closer, Peter. So it's a ramp shot there from Parker, and he scores 4 runs for that one as well. Beautifully played by Parker, and also I reckon the Strikers by 39 or 20. I feel like you're probably along the right lines, although, I mean, we're still going in this matchup, of course. Will Parker doing very nicely for himself, get into 4 runs, and also Parker just parked the ball at fine leg as well. And Abdullah and get 22 more runs, and all the money I donated kind of buying a webcam this stream are not to send Isaac to Melbourne. You sure? You don't want to send some of it in the Isaac Fund direction? Do let me know, Xavier. But if it is all for the webcam, thank you very much. It is going to be possibly just around the corner. And they were going and also tracking down under, I guess. Donated like 300 to BKR Sport. As on there, it says it was Xavier Brown, and also we got there. I said they would score Boulding. That's going to be Peter Siddle picking up the wicket, and now they are going to be, I believe, 9 down. So weird to see Boland batting for Hobart as well. I'm used to being a Victorian hero from the Ashes as well. And also Parker just parked the ball at fine leg. Very nicely done. Sausages and bacon on a pavlova. Would you reckon, or you reckon it would work? I wouldn't say yes, but I wouldn't say no either. I'd try it if I had to. See the weird combo? It's like people dipping their chips in their like ice cream sundae at McDonald's, or like in their milkshake. I feel like it's one of those ones you don't know until you try it. Maybe the salt and sweet kind of combo goes all right, but now it is Riley Meredith making his way out to the middle for the Hobart Hurricanes. 37 more runs needed from 13 balls now. And also, you have only been watching cricket for 6 weeks, Sebastian, as well. And there says Hamish Spencer, and that's when Scott Boland's come on the scene, Hamish. So I feel like it's one of those ones, he's been around for a long time, but at this stage, you know, no one's really known about him at international level until the recent Ashes. So he's got a fair point. What's Boland's highest score as well, Seth Frank? I don't think he's got a huge amount of runs, maybe about 20 in one innings. He's got a decent batting style, but Peter Siddle, the most wickets, he's up to 26 now of 15 matches, and he's going to be able to keep on going and going and going and keeping that cap for a very long time. Once again, going in. Nicely played by Riley Meredith. Does get himself the single to close out the over. 2 overs left in this one. McDonald's chips and sundaes are good. As I said, 174 for 10. And there says LJ, so you might be almost bang on the money, depending on how it goes. 173 for 8 is out now. That was a Harry Conway impersonation into the mic there, by the sounds of it. For Michael Vaughan, and also we have got there go from LJ, and also we have got there Boland has already played for the Hurricanes as well. Well, he's always played for the Hurricanes. He is indeed, although I guess he hasn't really been noted as an international player, which was what we were talking about a little bit more. Aiden would be fuming. It's on there, and also we got there 160 for 10. Says Pippo up in the chat. Yeah, it is looking relatively close to being bowled out, perhaps. So shot down the ground, though. Riley Meredith stand and deliver, just getting a few more runs on the board. They're not giving up just yet here for the Hobart Hurricanes. It's not going to be easy, though, like I mentioned. There are still a lot of runs that they are requiring in Ireland, 133 to 14. As on there says Hamish Spencer, and also Strikers by 30 or 20 runs, says Shannon. But at the moment, 32 more runs needed off a total of 11 balls. So they need 17.5 runs per over. Boland who played for the Stars back in the day as well. Says Skybroom, he did indeed. Very good player. And that's the thing, Scotty Boland, it is good to see that he's starting to get that recognition kind of for international level as well. That's a nice shot from Riley Meredith. Once again, Bears in the field. They are going to get back 42 runs here. It's a very good one. Currently, Hobart Hurricanes sitting there, 30 more runs off 10 balls. And also 1 run or out. Pipe White is on there. Currently, Matty Renshaw on the mic. He did decently. Overall, I guess you could say when he did make his way to the crease, he didn't really have to do too much batting, though, for himself. He ended up getting 7 off 5. Currently, a 0.5% chance. It's a good shot down the ground once again by Meredith. They get the single. And also, David wanted to play for the Thunder as well. Says Hamish Spencer, I don't believe so. He used to play for the Warner. And I just rewatched your reaction to my notification to you. You were shocked as I was indeed. At what time will you be live for the sevens? We are going to be live at 1:10 a.m. So that is going to be in just under an hour's time. And that is going to be the matchup taking place between South Africa and Scotland as that game. So it will be about a 25 one. Wouldn't it be funny if they get to my prediction of a super over as well, says Frank. Tell you what, if they were able to do so, would be pretty awesome to see one run out. As I said, people up there. Shot down the ground. It's a nice one. It's bouncing to the man, though. And Bolin once again. 28 off 8 balls as well. We have got there. Can you do the blitz box versus the Scottish, as I said, and we are going to be doing that one. Indeed, that is actually the first game that we are covering. We were going to be doing England versus Fiji, but sadly, due to the cancellation of Fiji being at the sevens, that is why the first game, that is the 1:10 one, and we will be South Africa versus Scotland. Anyway, I've got there, so 1 p.m. Aussie time, yeah, somewhere around that mark if you are in the region. That is 2 hours behind us as well. We have got there Warner, Stark, Smith, and Hazelwood aren't playing as I'm there, says Kai Broom, although they do have Nathan Lyon for the Sydney Sixers, and he will be an exciting one. See how he goes. Definitely if it's him and Stephen O'Keefe. Currently 27 more runs from 20 balls. Down the ground hard. Once again, it is just going to be the single, though. They got a well-set field ball and smacking the ball hard. That is going to be the end of the over. And now off the final over, they are going to be needing 26 more runs to win this one. And definitely the Strikers by 20 runs. So I see Shannon there. And also we have got there, and it is at 10 p.m. my time, says LJ Aussie time as well for that one. So I guess you are in a region that's 3 hours behind for yourself, LJ. But currently, I mean, unless we see an absolutely miracle over here, just a calculation, I think I am not wrong, $210 donated to you. So yeah, it's huge numbers indeed. And also we got there the Kieran, the Try, the 10, the George, the New Zealand, the 6, the Hamish, the Billy, the Out, and the Christmas, which is still here at the moment, the Christmas emoji. But we will have to update it soon for an Easter emoji instead, perhaps. And also get a few more cricket ones and rugby ones going forward. So unfortunately, there's a 7 series, hasn't been a proper one. Squad missing different teams having to play as one like Craig Pruden as well. And there, yeah. So I guess it's going to be interesting to see how it does go for the next little while, because like without Fiji, without Australia is there, without Fiji, without New Zealand, without Samoa, without the USA, it opens up the door for a different side. And whether it's the blitz box once again, or whether it will be someone else, also Pat Cummins isn't playing, and all the players have been and all of the players who have been knocked out. As on there says Kai Broom. It's a shot once again from Meredith. Swings hard, just gets the single though. And now 4 sixes in a row will get them back to a winning position. And no Tonga, right? Yeah, no Tonga. Not taking part in that. My youngest brother got his P plates. You reckon he will pass as well? Hopefully. Or going for his P plates. Hopefully he is able to pass it for him. So then he will be able to keep on driving around the place. And you want to buy another cat with that if you want it, or you can buy another cat with that if you want it. I mean, it would be quite cool. No expenses, I say around there. And when you come to Aussie in 2003, we will have to meet up. I feel like that is a done deal at this point in time. Oh, direct hit. And I don't get the extra run though for that one. But currently only the 3 balls left of this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Then we are away for the sevens a little bit later on tonight. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because we've got the sevens. We may even have the Champions Cup game between Harlequins and Castras as well a little bit later on. A little bit of women's sevens will be on the cards for ourselves also. And I'll meet you at the MCG. Oh, that sounds like a very good idea. Indeed, I agree, Xavier. He's as on there, says Irish Spencer. Currently now Meredith, he's sitting on 10 runs off 6 deliveries. Hasn't been going too bad. If he can get himself, I mean, that's the thing. If he can get himself a 6 here, it'll just help his average a little bit. He just got bowled by Peter Siddle. Peter steams through, and that is 4 wickets for Peter Siddle. He stood up in this game, and the Adelaide Strikers win this game by 22 runs. And because of it now, it does mean that they are going to be going through to the next game up against the Thunder. The Hobart Hurricanes, they are gone as well. I hope he does pass if he gets his freedom at least. And I'm at the MCG February 6th at 12:45 p.m. And that's probably a little. I don't know whether or not I could get back into the country here if that was the case. And also, boom, says Novmum, and also game over. I will see you tomorrow. As I said, Frank, and also Shannon, you were late. You said that 13th over. As I says LJ, and also Meat. And then there says Xavier. So what we will do is we will have a quick look through and see what everyone has said. So 166 is the amount that we have got. Oh, this one will go down, 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 down. Where are our numbers? Hurricanes will get 300, not quite. Well, they won 168 from Aussie Mozzie is relatively close. 165 for the Canes is even closer from Betty Wagon. So we will quickly add those ones in. I think Novmum by saying boom. Did she have a prediction? Whereabouts was yours, Novmum? 9 balls left for the Hurricanes. Okay, and also, so we will go here. We will add to the points table. And once again, there are more points that are going to be put on the board for us. So at the end of the season, halfway through the final, we will be informing you guys where everyone is sitting on the points table overall. So first place, it is Paddy, who has been able to get himself the 3 points. Second place, it is going to be Aussie Mozzie, who has been able to get himself the 2 points. And then third closest is anyone sitting around that 170 mark. 173 is a little bit close there. 168 we have got. 170, I think 173 is the closest one. Well, that one, so that would be Las Vegas Raiders fan forever. Las Vegas Raiders fan forever. There we go. And that is going to be the 1 point. Please tell us the congratulations there, mate. Currently, we have got the Chiefs for the stream managers, so no worries at all. And also on February 6th, 2023 as well, says Xavier. And also, I also said 173, says LJ. One moment. We will go back down. Oh, you said 174, in fact. All we have got there as 174. So I assume that is the other closest as well. But nonetheless, will you remember Xavier as well? And there it says, as in, will I remember or will Xavier remember? Well, I predict the Canes will get 166 and the Strikers get 188. Nailed it. 3 points on the board. But yeah, we are going to be back for the 7th in only 40 minutes time. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.